Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Ohio.
The sights and sounds of spring training. Baseball is back from Goodyear, Arizona. Expectations are high for the Indians this season after falling just one game short of their first World Series title since 1948. Sports Time Ohio is your home for the AL champions, and it all starts right now. Under sunny skies in Goodyear, Arizona, it's Cleveland Indians spring training baseball. Today, the defending American League champion Indians take on the Cincinnati Reds here at the Goodyear Ballpark. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. This is normally where we talk about how it's been a long off-season, but Rick, the Tribe played through October into early November a year ago. And Rick, last couple of days, it's been warmer in Cleveland than it has been out here in Arizona, so we know Tribe fans have a good old-fashioned case of spring fever. The team, for the most part, returns intact from a season ago, but there are some new faces, including one very key new face in the middle of the lineup.
Boy, you're not kidding. When you look at the number 4 hole in their lineup, you know who's going to fill that. The number 1 sought-after power hitter on the free agent market. They did not realize they were going to have a chance at it, but Edwin Encarnacion, who's averaged 39 home runs over his last 5 years. He had 127 ribbies, which led the league, the American League, 42 home runs. This guy, and a very explosive bat. He can DH, he can play a little first base, and he will do that, spelling Carlos Santana. So what a tandem we're going to have between DH and first base this year. Really excited to get this game underway today. We'll see Andrew Miller pitch this afternoon, the ALCS MVP from a year ago, plus Ryan Merritt gets the start today. You remember he was the Game 5 starter when the Indians punched their ticket to the Fall Classic last October. Come on back, the first pitch from Goodyear is straight ahead.
Back here in Goodyear, Arizona, the Indians taking the field as Ryan Merritt goes to the center of the diamond for Cleveland. Oh, my.
Joe Boo.
Joe Boo is in the house.
Yes, he is. He and the Cleves are tight.
The American League champion Cleveland Indians. They raised the flag just before the game started. Out beyond center field here this afternoon. And a big reason why the Indians won the AL pennant last year is that man right there, Ryan Merritt, in a spot start. Think about the nerves of steel he had to have going into that crazy environment in Toronto and pitching as well as he did. Take a look at the starting lineup today for the Cincinnati Reds. They were 68-94 last year under Brian Price. The speedster Billy Hamilton will lead it off at the top of the order. Then it's Arizmendi, Alcantara at shortstop. Joey Votto is at first. Eugenio Suarez at third. Jesse Winker is in left. Dilson Herrera, the DH. Tucker Barnhart will catch. Desmond Jennings in right. And Hernan Iribarren will play second base and bat ninth.
And Ryan Merritt on the mound for the Indians spent most of last year in Columbus, where he was tied for the International League lead in wins with 11. He got his first career start on September 30th against the Kansas City Royals and ended up getting a win where he went 5 innings, allowed 3 hits and a run. And then, of course, that game you talked about in Toronto where 4 1/3 shutout innings took a perfect game bid into the 4th inning. And boy, you know, no one ever thought that was going to happen, but he reaped some benefits, you know, after that start with getting married and all the presents that were sent to him. Let's set the defense behind him this afternoon. It'll be Robertson in left. Allen is in center. Zimmer over in right. Ramirez is at third. Lindor is short. Martinez at second. Encarnacion is at first. Gomes will be doing the catching.
And before we get underway, quick check of the umpires here this afternoon. Quinn Walcott behind the plate. Gabe Morales and Toby Bassner will be working the bases. So Ryan Merritt kicks into the windup, and we're underway in Goodyear with a first pitch strike to Billy Hamilton.
Something that Merritt does a lot. He is a strike thrower. He very good control, changes speeds, moves it in and out.
Popped him up. Foul territory. Encarnacion now back into fair ground. Makes the grab. One quick out. What Ryan Merritt did last year in the ALCS was not make the moment any bigger than it needed to be. And he basically went into that game and said, thanks to Terry Francona and Mickey Callaway, who told him, just be yourself. Just do what you've always done, which is attack, Rick. For a guy who doesn't blow up the radar gun, he's very aggressive in the strike zone.
Well, and it was Bautista that came out and says they can't wait. He must be shaking in his boots. Remember, they said that about Merritt. He went in there, was very calm, collected, but Terry set the precedence. But it's easy saying one thing, just sit down and relax and attack, and going out and doing that in their home ballpark.
Well, his teammates were very impressed with how Merritt handled the situation and how well he pitched in that environment. Fouled off by Arizmendi Alcantara.
But, you know, he had a couple of different opportunities throughout the course of the year and came up, and he did a nice job every time he was up here.
Yeah.
You know, coming out of the bullpen, then gets his start, gets his first win. So he wasn't overmatched anytime. He's just not a guy that blows up the radar gun.
Perfect pitch, and he strikes out. Alcantara looking. 2 down. Well, let's rewind the clock to last October in Toronto as Ryan Merritt took the mound in a game the Indians knew if they could win, they would be going to the World Series. And I think the Blue Jays were just stunned. Look at how many times they were caught looking. And a lot of us, when Terry Francona went to take him out, a lot of us were going, no, leave him in there, leave him in there. But Terry said, you know, I didn't want them to get another look at him, you know, around through the order. He said he did his job, and he goes, you know, our bullpen was so good, and how could you argue with that thinking the way the Indians bullpen pitched last year?
It worked out to perfection.
Here's Joey Votto, one of the lone veterans remaining in this Cincinnati Reds lineup. Votto coming off another terrific campaign offensively. Batted .326 with 29 homers. Look what he did in the second half, batting over .400.
Yeah, that's absurd. The OP on base percentage .490, just under .500. So he's trying to get off to a better start than he normally does. Usually the first couple of months he has some problems and locks it in the second half of the year. But you know, with the Reds really changing and rebuilding, I'm surprised that, you know, he would still be there, even though I'm sure he has a no trade clause.
2 balls and a strike. Rick, how challenging will it be for Votto to repeat those kind of numbers offensively with nobody really around him to protect him?
Well, he takes his walks. He's a very patient hitter, so he can always get on base. You know, his on base percentage, now whether they let him drive the ball or try and beat you is a different thing. I know I wouldn't. Get that hitter behind you.
Indians, of course, will have a home and home again with the Reds this year. Check swing and a foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Nobody on base here in the top of the first, just underway in the spring training opener for both Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Yeah, that home and home comes in May.
It's 4 straight, right?
Yeah, May 22nd, 23rd in Cincinnati, and then the Reds will come to Cleveland the 24th and 25th.
Merritt fires, off speed pitch. Votto out front, rolls it to Michael Martinez, who throws him out. And a 1-2-3 first inning for Ryan Merritt. The Indians are coming to bat. Indians come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. And the Tribe starting lineup today. Carlos Santana will lead it off, the DH. Then it's Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor. Edwin Encarnacion batting cleanup. Then it's Yan Gomes. Bradley Zimmer, the youngster, gets the start in right field. Daniel Robertson in left. Greg Allen, a speedy young outfielder in center field and an exciting player, will bat 8th. Michael Martinez, the switch-hitting utility man, bats 9th.
Amir Garrett, the left-hander on the mound, 24 years old, 6'5", 228 pounds. Last year, the first time he was above A ball. He spent 12 games in Pensacola AA and 13 games in Louisville.
And his first pitch is a good fastball into Santana for strike 1. Garrett, a former basketball player in college, missing inside to Santana to even up the count. Santana, 34 home runs a year ago. Pops this one foul. New career high for Carlos in the home run category. Batted .259, drove in 87.
It was a while before he hit his first home run from the right side of the plate, if I remember correctly. I think it was out in LA playing the Angels.
Good off-speed pitch, and it's in there for strike 3 called, 1 away.
check the defense for the Reds. In the outfield from left to right, it'll be Winker, Hamilton, and Jennings. On the infield from third to first, Suarez is at third, Alcantara is at short, Iribarren is at second, Votto is at first, Barnhart is behind the plate.
Here is Jose Ramirez. And what a difference maker he was for the Indians a year ago. Terry Francona saying that with regards to the lineup, you know, Ramirez batted in the 5 spot quite a bit last year, and he said he may not look like a 5 hitter, but he's got a high contact rate, good pitch selection, and being a switch hitter, Rick, he provides a guy that can help balance out a lineup as well.
Well, it made it very tough for them to pitch around Mike Napoli last year at times when he was hot because Ramirez was there, and probably their best clutch hitter all year long.
And he plugs the gap in right center. He's on his way to second base, and he'll go in standing with a double, and perhaps of more important note, his helmet never came off his head.
Does he have it glued on this year? Well, I'll tell you what, this is what makes Ramirez so good, is he stays on the baseball from both sides of the plate. That pitch away, maybe a little bit off the plate, but he rarely gets caught trying to pull a ball. He hits it where it is pitched. He drives it into the gap in right center field, and that's why he is so successful. And he had over 40 doubles last year because he uses the whole field, and that's why he hits well with runners in scoring position.
And Ramirez in scoring position now for Francisco Lindor. Takes a look, up and away, ball 1.
I mean, there's the numbers for Jose last year. Runners on, 346. In scoring position, he gets higher. With 2 outs, it's 346. It was a great year for him. And I think nobody expected that because he filled in, started, you remember, almost the first half of the year in left field before he came in and took over the third base role and did both beautifully.
As good as Jose Ramirez was, Francisco Lindor was in many ways even better. Ground ball to short, routine play for Alcantara, but he kicks it, and Lindor will be safe at first on the air. And that's not something that Cincinnati wants to see right out of the gate. Last year they were 10th in the National League with more than 100 errors committed.
Yeah, well, there are times, and their pitching staff gave up a lot of home runs. You cannot give up any extra outs. I mean, that was a routine play for him. He just, first one of the year, you boot it. You could see it looked like it got him on the right hand a little bit on that fingernail.
Cincinnati gave up a major league high 258 home runs last year. Now Edwin Encarnacion chops one foul. New uniform for Encarnacion, who, you know, we remember many years ago was with this Cincinnati ball club.
Yep, absolutely.
Last year, 42 homers with the Blue Jays. Two on, 1 out, and that's inside to even it up.
You can see his last 5 seasons, only player in the majors with 30 or more home runs. And just a quality at bat he puts in there in that number 4 hole. He will lock that number down all year long.
Takes just a little bit high, 2-1. He also drove in a career best 127 runs last year for Toronto.
I'm curious to see. He has been training in Florida and always has with Toronto. How he likes this Arizona air out here because the ball carries much better here than it does in Florida.
You know, Rick, sometimes you watch guys take batting practice in spring training, and there are guys who just naturally lift the ball and launch it. Watching Encarnacion's BP, it's a lot of line drives. That's hammered
Like that.
in the left field. Coming around third, Jose Ramirez trying to score the game's first run. The throw is cut off, and the Indians will play from in front, leading it 1-0.
Well, that's going to be the fun part. Whoever gets a chance to hit in front of Encarnacion this year, you get guys on base, and this is his job. He got to pitch out over the plate. and lined it into left field. Ramirez comes around, scores easily.
And, you know, for a guy who bats in the middle of the order, the patient approach, too. Not chasing, waiting for the pitcher to come to him.
Well, that's going to be the interesting thing this year to see who hits behind him, you know, for the most part this year. If Michael Brantley plays, will he have an opportunity? Because you have to protect him.
Here's Yan Gomes. Bounces it to third, and it's a foul ball. Perhaps no player on the Indians roster was happier to see the calendar turn to the year 2017 than Yan Gomes, because as successful as the year was for the organization, for the team, it was a year of fit and frustration for Gomes, who got off to a slow start, battled injuries, did come back, and late in that last game of the year hit a crucial home run that helped the Indians beat the Royals, that enabled them to clinch home field through the first round of the playoffs. But he wants to show that, you know, last year was an aberration.
You know, that's a year you totally want to forget as a player. It seemed like anything that could go wrong did go wrong for him. You know, as well as you know, he ended up trying probably too hard. You start out slowly, and then the next thing you know, you get hurt. And you try and make it up when you come back in one game, and it was just one of those years. Hopefully he can forget about that, but you know, who knows? You know, with Perez getting most of the catching throughout the playoffs, Gomes was sitting and watching. That's going to be interesting. I know Gomes will be penciled in as a starter and everything, but Terry's got to find a way to keep Perez, you know, going too.
Sometimes you have to wonder if there's a black cloud hanging over you. I mean, the other day Gomes stands in the box. It's live batting practice against pitchers. Andrew Miller unleashes a wicked fastball and bears in and drills him right in the leg, and down goes Yan. He gets up and says, well, I guess it can only get better from here. Bounces it foul up the third base side.
Well, one thing we noticed, he's wearing a new number this year. He's got number 7 on his back. Encarnacion was number 10. He was happy to give that number up after last year and the way he went with that. So that's a new start. Call him the Mick Gomes.
He won't make anybody forget about Kenny Lofton on the bases, that's for sure. But number 7 worked out well for Kenny in his career in Cleveland. Bounced foul again up the third base side. Amir Garrett should have maybe been able to work his way through the inning, but the error by shortstop Arizmendi Alcantara allowed Francisco Lindor to reach, and Ramirez was able to just kind of hold his ground at second, and then Encarnacion delivering the RBI single. And the Indians lead at 1-0 with 2 aboard and still only 1 out. And strike 3 called. Second strikeout of the inning for Amir Garrett. First spring training game of Cactus League action for both Cleveland and Cincinnati. For the Indians, a couple of storylines. Encarnacion in the cleanup spot, and already cleaning up with an RBI in his first at bat. And Andrew Miller will pitch in the WBC for Team USA. He will pitch here this afternoon for Cleveland. We'll talk more about the World Baseball Classic in a little while, but right now Bradley Zimmer. Zimmer, a very highly touted prospect for the Indians, getting an opportunity to impress here in spring training. I mean, Terry Francona was very clear that as Zimmer takes down low 2-0. You know, last year when they came to camp, they told Tyler Naquin, hey, there's an opportunity for you to win a job. He said, we did not have those same conversations with Bradley Zimmer or Greg Allen or Yandy Diaz. It's a different situation for those guys. But, you know, they want him to go out and play well and impress and show the organization that if the need arises, that they could be called upon.
Well, anytime you're a young player and you're in a big league uniform, you have an opportunity to open some eyes. You should go out there and try your best and give it your all, whether you have a chance to make the team or not. And I think that's what Terry expects, and his coaching staff. They expect these young kids to come in here and go all out.
Bradley was the first-round pick just 3 years ago. He's 6'5", 220.
Oh.
And you were very impressed just watching him walk around the batting cage. I mean, the size on this guy.
Man. Yeah. He is a big kid, you know, and you know, there's things he has to work on, of course, but he's playing right field today, normally a center fielder. He has to work on hitting against left-handed pitching, and he's got to work on putting the ball in play more.
A bit inside, and it's a full count.
But boy, he has a lot of talent. That's what makes the game of baseball, you know, so much, I think, a little tougher than other sports. There's so many things you have to work on before you can, you know, really get to that elite level at the major leagues.
What makes what Lindor did all the more impressive. I mean, Frankie just finished his first full season in the majors.
Yeah. Well, some people are born to do that.
Now we'll get a timeout as Tucker Barnhart will go out and talk to Amir Garrett. But you're right, Rick. I mean, you came up at a very young age, but everybody advances and learns at a different rate.
Right. Some kids come out of college, some kids come out of high school. Some kids can handle it. It all depends how you're raised, how, you know, what your insides of, what you're made of.
Your mental toughness.
Absolutely.
Really. 2 on, 2 out, and a 3-2 count for Zimmer. The runners are off, and it's ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Well, you can see this is major leagues. You get to spring training, you get into the first inning of the very first game. You got lefty on lefty on a 3-2 count, and they're going to throw the breaking ball. That's why he went out. Throw a strike is what you want to throw, but you're not you're trying to trick hitters at this time. That's something else. What's that tell you?
Tell me he didn't have a lot of confidence in his fastball.
Well, you should have.
Out
I mean,
comes
first game of the year. That's what he's going to say. Come on, don't be. You got to attack hitters.
Pitching coach Mac Jenkins probably going out to talk to him about that very thing. Well, here's Daniel Robertson. He'll be batting with the bases loaded and 2 down. Robertson is a guy who's in camp to compete and give the Indians a potential option, because look, folks, a lot of what happens in the Indians outfield depends on how quickly Michael Brantley progresses and when he can get back on the field and into game shape and be ready to play.
Right.
Down low, ball 1. And so you want to have some options, because if there's a setback or if there's a hiccup, or if, look, here's the other thing, and we're going to have Mike Chernoff, the Indians general manager, on in a little while. It's not a matter of we need Michael Brantley ready on opening day. They need him ready when he's ready.
Yeah.
Chop to third as Suarez goes to second for the inning-ending force. The Indians jump on the board first here in the first. Edwin Encarnacion in his first at bat drives home a run. It's 1-0 Cleveland. The American League Championship flag flying high and proud here over the ballpark in Goodyear. Second inning. Ryan Merritt will stay on for Cleveland after working a 1-2-3 top half of the first. He's got the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Cincinnati. Eugenio Suarez to lead it off. Crowd still filing in. You forget, Arch, with the World Baseball Classic, it's still only February 25th.
Yeah, well, everybody's playing in the Cactus League today. It's pretty much a kickoff for every team in spring training. But yeah, what's it start next weekend? The Classic starts, so before you know it.
Suarez drives one high and deep to right. Zimmer back, looking up. Goodbye. And the Reds tie it on one swing of the bat. And the former Tiger infielder.
You know, he had 21 homers last year. Surprising. But really did a nice job for the Reds, and he shows you he's in that number 4 hole, and he goes the other way and ties the game up with one swing of the bat. Let's see the swing. That ball outside. He stayed on it beautifully. Good extension.
Looked like a changeup that just didn't have a lot of movement.
Yeah, it just stayed up there. But still, you got to take it the other way, and he got it out of here. So one swing will tie the game.
There is Jesse Winker, the left fielder. And a left-handed bat takes a called strike. Big curveball hangs up high. You know, with Cincinnati, you look at what they did a year ago. And in the second half, you know, there's maybe reason to be optimistic going forward because they were just a game under 500. But it was before the All-Star break. They were 32 and 57 as that ball gets by Ramirez. And an opposite field single for Jesse Winker. I mean, you get buried that deep.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible.
Well, they had issues coming out of the bullpen, you know, where they gave up, I think, in 23 or 24 consecutive games home runs coming out of the bullpen. And it's one thing, the young pitchers in that ballpark, it's a tough place to pitch. That goes to show you some of the pitchers they've had in the past, like Cueto and those guys that did such a good job keeping the ball in the park. In that ballpark is not an easy thing to do.
It is a launching pad. Dilson Herrera, DH this afternoon, takes a pitch up high. Snap throw to first is by Encarnacion. And down to second base goes Winker. Gomes throw too tall for Edwin.
Well, early in the spring, first game, they're trying pickoff moves, but this one gets by Encarnacion down the right field line. He will move up. I'm not sure who they give the error to.
Smashed in the hole. And a base hit to left. Winker will stop at third. And the Reds have runners at the corners with nobody out. 3 straight hits to open the second for Cincinnati.
Well, with the ball hit to the left side of the infield, you're on second base. You have to make sure it goes through. So he'll move up a base. And right now, Merritt would love to get that ground ball and get a double play to get the first 2 outs of the innings with runners on corners.
Mike Clevinger will be coming on next for Cleveland. Foul right back by Tucker Barnhart. You talked about the Cincinnati bullpen early last year. For the season, the Reds bullpen had an earned run average of 509. And you talk about how good the Indians bullpen, just to give you some comparison, their ERA was 3.41. just missing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, it's a long year and a tough feeling when you go out there. Sometimes you have leads, the bullpen gives it back, and you just can never. You know, it gets tough to play catch up every single day.
Merritt with the 1-1.
Got him.
And it nicked him.
Sure did.
And the bases are loaded. The Daytona 500 is right around the corner, and Michael Strahan and Fox analyst Jeff Gordon have already made their plans.
Michael, Daytona Day is coming. You got any plans?
Yes, I do, my man. I'm going to get together with a bunch of friends. We're going to do our Daytona Day chili cook-off at my place, and I'm going to watch you call the race.
Awesome. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great Daytona Day.
All right, coming up this weekend on Fox, the Daytona 500. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Desmond Jennings is the batter as Ryan Merritt tries to work himself out of a big jam here early. Terry Francona said you probably won't meet a nicer person than Ryan Merritt. He has that very, respectful attitude, demeanor, but boy, when he steps between the lines, he is a fierce competitor. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike.
Well, you know, he's one of those guys, when you get up there in the batter's box, you figure you should mash him. You pick it up. He's not, like I said, one of those guys that can blow up the radar gun. He has to have impeccable control, a lot like Josh Tomlin. And Josh, he finds a way. You keep the ball off the center part of the bat. That's the key to pitching. You don't see a lot of those guys in rotations much anymore.
Well, Ryan, I asked him about that very thing, and he said that, a guy like Josh Tomlin can be somewhat inspirational for a pitcher like Ryan, even though one's left, one's right.
Yeah,
because
doesn't matter.
He said it's how Josh goes about his work, attacking the hitters and throwing strikes and not nibbling. Nibbling is the quickest way to disaster for a pitcher.
The way these guys succeed is pounding the strike zone when they get ahead, and when they miss maybe just a hair off the strike zone to set up the next pitch that they're going to follow it up with.
Strikes him out. Merritt gets a huge first out here in the 2nd inning as he gets Jennings to go fish.
Now there you go, a changeup that is down. He's ahead in the count, so you get a guy to go chase that pitch. You get the swing and the miss, and now you have an opportunity to make a pitch, get a ground ball, and get out of the inning. But these guys that are good at their craft, when they can throw the cutter, a little breaking ball, a changeup, and keep you off balance, those guys, people don't talk about them enough when you're good at what they do.
And he gets ahead of Hernan Iribarren.
I think nowadays a lot of people get caught up into the radar gun in the mid-90s and the harder you throw, and I think that sometimes the harder you throw, the more these hitters like it nowadays.
Iribarren fouls one off down the left side.
Except when you make mistakes and you're not throwing that hard, they get hit a little bit more consistently, that's for sure.
Well, this guy right here was an International League All-Star. He was the IL batting champ. Hit .327 at AAA Louisville a year ago. That's a little high, 1-2. Well, I know this in talking with Ryan Merritt. He and his wife were truly just blown away by the generosity showed by Indians fans last year when they found their wedding registry online and bought up everything.
Isn't that something?
Smashed into the hole and left, and that'll score the go-ahead run. Winker comes home. The bases stay loaded. It's 2-1 Cincinnati. Nice piece of hitting by Iribarren, who found the hole and just shot it through.
I'll tell you what happened. He got his ground ball, but it found a hole. He was ahead in the count, but he got too much of the plate right there. He was able to keep his hands back, especially probably looking for a breaking ball, but he couldn't throw the fastball by him because of the location of it. takes it to left field, gets the base hit, and everybody moves up a base. So now you don't think double play here with this guy in the batter's box.
Billy Hamilton popped up on the infield his first time up, and you want to see Hamilton hit the ball in the air because, as you pointed out, when he hits it on the ground, even if it's right back to the pitcher, it's not a guarantee that he'll be out at first.
Yeah, you'll take another pop up to the infield here.
The 0-1, a bit outside. Terry Francona said that what he wants to see from pitchers here, especially first time out, is just throw your pitches, get your work in. They're not looking at results. They're not looking at, command. This is the first time out. These guys have thrown, maybe a round or two of live batting practice. So
that's true. And when you look at it, as you said, it's February 25th, so you can't expect anybody to be they're in good shape, but not baseball shape, not game shape.
Terry said that, he and Mickey Callaway, Jason Bray, they communicate with the pitchers. They expect these guys to come into camp in shape and ready to go. This isn't a time to get in shape.
No,
Bounced
that
foul.
Used to be.
Right.
In
your day, sure it was. You had off-season jobs.
Yeah, you come back, and that's why it was 6 weeks long. You come and get yourself into shape. But nowadays, no way. These guys are in tip-top shape. But then they come here. Just make sure your arm strength is there, and you're in good shape. Now it's baseball time. You have to get in baseball.
And for a player like Lindor, you just saw there, and some of the others who will be playing in the WBC. Yank fouled on the left side. They had to maybe ramp up things a little earlier than normal because they're going to be going, as you said, next weekend. They're going to be playing in games that,
that means something.
They're meaningful, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it's high pressure situations. I mean, they're going to be in there, and with the game on the line, or you get in there late in the ball game, you're going to try to win the thing. So, absolutely right. I think every team that has players going to the WBC, which almost everybody does, you hold your breath. You're happy for the guys because they can represent their country, as Terry says, but you know what? We got a lump in our throat because we want them to come back and stay healthy because we need them more. And I understand the situation and the feeling.
Also important, he said, for a guy like Chris Colabello, who's on the Indians roster and trying to win a job, if he's going to go, they want him to play every day, not just go and sit. Popped in the air. Robertson coming in, tagging up at third is Herrera. He's going to try to score. Here's the throw to the plate. He is out.
Nicely done.
A double play ends the inning on a terrific catch and throw by Daniel Robertson. But Cincinnati gets a pair, and they take a 2-1 lead. Middle of the second here in Goodyear. Popcorn is popping away, and the Indians in red slugging away. Cincinnati leading it 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and we go down to the Tribe dugout where we're joined now by Indians pitcher Josh Tomlin. Josh, how are you?
Doing good, fellas. How y'all doing?
We're doing fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Surprised to be back here already?
A little bit. A little bit. It didn't seem like we had as much of a break as everybody else, but that's a good thing, isn't it?
It was a great thing, man. How did you get a chance to spend your off season at home with the babe? With the baby?
Oh, yeah. I spent the off season, well, I stayed in Cleveland till the 1st of December, and then went back to Texas. Went back to Texas for a month and a half, 2 months, worked out, and then came back here. Got here February 1st, so quick turnaround, but it's a good thing. I'd rather have the quick turnaround than the long off season.
Well, and you probably had to enjoy an off season where you weren't rehabbing or going to the doctor or all those things. You kind of were able to just relax and have a normal off season.
Yeah, it's good to give an off season where I'm fully healthy and can actually get back home and do the work and get something out of it, as opposed to trying to rehab or trying to be cautious about something for sure.
What did you learn, maybe the most important thing from a year ago? There were a lot of great moments, but you had some, there was some time where maybe the stuff wasn't as crisp as you'd like. But what did you learn the most?
I think just kind of staying within myself and not trying to maybe overcorrect things and as fast as I was trying to. I mean, the game kind of in August when I was kind of going bad there, I was trying to make the perfect pitch every pitch and maybe trying to do too much in certain situations, trying to take it one pitch at a time. I was trying to throw 6 scoreless in one pitch at a time, and it just kind of snowballed on me and things got bad. So it was just kind of stepping back and trying to learn from each outing and hopefully just try to fix it a little bit sooner than I did last year.
Well, Josh, it makes sense that if you're struggling or if you feel like you're getting tired, it would make sense to feel like you've got to muscle up, and maybe that's the worst thing that can happen to you as a pitcher.
Oh, no doubt. You try to maybe make your stuff a little bit better, and sometimes it gets flat. So as opposed to just kind of working out front and let the ball kind of do what it's supposed to do and trust it. Things can try to get. I think when any pitcher's going good, they're not really thinking about their stuff in the zone. They're just trying to throw the ball in a direction and let it work. And I was just trying to try to make too good of pitches in certain situations. And when you do things like that, it kind of makes the ball flat. And for me, 88 being flat or 86, whatever it is not a good thing.
We were talking about that with Ryan Merritt. A left-hander here that he doesn't light up the radar gun. He is all about control, location, and changing speeds and keeping the ball off the barrel of the bat. And I mean, it's a little tougher. You guys have a little less room for error, but still you have to be aggressive and pitch from in front.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big thing for guys like us is, you're going to get contact, and whenever you're trying to do too much, maybe try to get that swing and a miss. That's when your stuff kind of gets flat, and that's when the ball gets hit hard, as opposed to just trying to get ahead early on and try to be in an offensive count for you from the get-go. And that just kind of keeps them maybe guessing a little bit and just try to keep them a little bit out in front or a little bit behind, or get them guessing at certain locations. Then you can go to the other location and try to get them. Just try to keep them guessing as much as you can, keep them off balance as much as you can, and that's what makes us good when we're going good. It's definitely not going to be the overpowering stuff by any means, but you can pitch. You can have success in the big leagues pitching to contact.
Absolutely. Well, you won 13 games. You had 174 innings pitched. You made 29 starts. I mean, all lows are highs for you, and you expect to do the same again this year, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I plan on taking the ball every time it's my turn and doing the best I can to try to help this team win.
Brian Price is going to go to the bullpen and make a mid-inning pitching change, but since we've got our man Josh Tomlin, we're just going to stay right here.
That's beautiful.
Continue the conversation. Josh, the thing I want to know about last year, when you get the experience of pitching in the postseason, first thing, it's a dream come true. I get all that. But how can you use the experience of those high pressure innings, all those situations, and use that to your benefit going forward?
I think it just kind of allows you to understand that moment a little bit better. I mean, it's nothing you can really prepare for. It's definitely a different atmosphere. It's definitely a different meaning behind those games. But it's fun. I mean, you realize how much fun and how much adrenaline you get in those games and how focused you get is you can take that same mindset into regular season games and apply it to those games whenever you don't have as many fans in the stands or stuff like that. Just kind of apply that same mindset to that game, and hopefully you get the same results out of it. But it's definitely something that you want to work to get back towards, and you know, having that experience we had last year. So if we hopefully we play well enough and get in those situations again, maybe not nerve-wracking or you know, you've already got the mental and physical experience of it, so maybe it just allows you to be that much finer and that much better when you get there again.
That's something you dream of, is what you guys did in the postseason. It was so much fun to watch. When you get out there, it seems like there's something riding on every single pitch. When you get to the postseason, it's so magnified. At least it seems that way when you're watching it on TV.
Oh, it's definitely that way when you're out there, too.
I bet it is, man. So that has to be fun. But people don't understand. This team, I think we improved ourselves in the offseason. To me, the biggest part of the game is that you have to play through that 162-game schedule. And, you know, that's where the character is built to get into the postseason. This team, the Indians last year, were so good together because everybody stepped up and picked it up. It's a fun journey, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And that's something Tito preaches from the very get-go is, you know, you might not make the team out of camp, but you might help us at some point throughout the course of the year. And, you know, people buy into that. Our team has bought into that. So our organization has kind of bought into that. And the same thing with not backing down from a challenge. We all accept that, and we all buy into that. And it's like it takes, you know, trades in the midseason, or it takes trades and free agent signings in the offseason to try to get what you want to get done. But at the end of the day, you got to spend 162 games with the group that you're going to have in there for the most part. And so the quicker you build those relationships, the quicker you build that camaraderie in the clubhouse, and it just makes for a smoother ride throughout the course of that 162 games. But we've got a good clubhouse. Everybody kind of jokes around and kids around quite a bit. And Tito likes to keep it loose in there. And so it's definitely a lot of fun and definitely interesting sometimes, but it's a lot of fun to be out there with those guys and competing every day. So we've got a good clubhouse for sure.
Josh, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck to you this year.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for having me.
That's Josh Tomlin. The Indians go in order. We've played 2 in Goodyear. It's the Reds 2 and the Indians 1. Third inning here in Goodyear, and Mike Clevinger coming on to pitch now for the Indians. Last year, Clevinger worked in the rotation, also came out of the bullpen. As you see his numbers overall from a season ago. And Terry Francona says, look, we want Clevinger to be a starter. And so we're going to work him into whatever situation it is, whether it's here, whether it's a AAA, as a starting pitcher.
Right.
And then he said you can always, if the need arises, you can always push a guy back into the bullpen. But he said if you start a guy out as a reliever and then suddenly you need a starter, that's a really hard transition to make during the season.
Well, it happens sometimes where teams want to try and stretch somebody out, but if you do, you're going to have to send them down to the minor leagues to do it. You can't do it at the big league level, that's for sure. Yeah, it's much easier to do it that way. Start them, give them the innings. You can always back them off.
Mike, 26 years of age. And that pitch, soft liner in the left, sinking, and a nice running catch by Daniel Robertson. His second solid play of the afternoon. One away.
Yeah, he made a great throw to get out of last inning, the double play ball, and then coming in on the dead run, making the play.
And
again,
you said something that fans didn't get to hear as we went to break, and that's a heck of a throw for the first day of spring training games.
Day one. That's right, because your arm's not built up. They're just starting to stretch these things out, but you're right. You know, getting back to those pitchers that are starters, most all pitchers are starters when they get into baseball anyway before they go to bullpen, although some now, you know, are just bullpen guys going to college or coming out of college.
Still pretty rare, though.
Yeah, most of the time everybody's a starter, so it's easier to keep them, you know, stringing out the innings or throwing more pitches than normal.
And I think for Mike Clevinger last year, look, a learning experience for any young player, but Mike he's a high octane type guy. When he goes on the field, his heart rate is firing. I mean, he's you know, like a high emotion, high energy, and you almost have to kind of take a deep breath and learn to relax a little bit more.
What young pitchers, and it's like Mike has to do, he has to throw his off-speed pitches consistently for strikes, like a lot of pitchers do up here. Your fastball is going to be there, but once they get a look at you and you get to face teams second or third time through, you're going to have to prove to them that you can throw your changeup, your breaking ball in counts. That you're going to have to when you're behind sometimes. Now you see there's a 2-strike pitch 2-2 that Votto just wanted to check his swing because he thought it was too close to take. He did that in his first at-bat. Look, that's just an emergency hack.
We've seen him do that before, though, especially in spring training.
Yeah. You know, how many times do you see a guy with power like Votto choke up like he does, but he wants to put the ball in play, or he's going to walk. One of the two. There.
Got him looking.
Good pitch.
Really good pitch by Mike Clevinger. 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, you talk about staying inside. There it was. Right on the inside part of the plate, and he was just trying to flick it and foul it off like he did the last pitch, except this one was a little higher. He just didn't pick it up, and he waits on the ball so long in spring training, and I think that's why sometimes it takes him a while to get going.
2 down for Eugenio Suarez, who homered to right to get the Reds on the board in the second inning. Rick, the other thing with regards to Clevinger is, you know, you look at what he did a year ago. He was 11-1 at AAA with an ERA of 3 in his 17 starts down there. And, you know, most people might look at that and say, well, he's got nothing left to prove there. Just keep him in the big leagues.
Right.
But development doesn't always work that way. You might still need a little more time to develop at that AAA
with pitches,
level.
with his other pitches, or, you know, he may be able to dominate hitters down there, where in the big leagues you can make a pitch at the major league level. They may foul it off with 2 strikes, or they may take it, you know, and it's a ball where they may swing at it down there. So there's a big difference between AAA and the major leagues when you get up there, especially once the hitters get to know you.
That just went foul. And the point I was trying to make is that dominating at AAA, then coming to the big leagues and kind of seeing where your shortcomings are, and now going back knowing exactly what you have to work on. It's a little bit different, I think.
Yes, I mean, it gives you a sense of what you really have to do, because you learned firsthand. It's not somebody telling you what you have to do. It's you went up there and those hitters took care of it, and they told you what you have to do. But, you know, as I heard Terry say this week when you talk about some pitchers, any experience at the major league, whether you're successful or whether you fail, it's still, you need that. You need that. When you fail, you take it back and you say, okay, they beat me. Why'd they beat me? And now you know for yourself.
Yeah, what do they say? Is it success is never final, failure's never fatal? I mean, you can't look at failure as
you learn from that. No,
right.
because that's how you learn. When you succeed early and you have a lot of success, people think it's going to be that way all the time. Well, it is not.
Well, he looks sharp here this afternoon in his first outing of the spring. Mike Clevinger strikes out a pair, and the Reds go 1-2-3. Here the Indians climb their way to the top of the American League.
Very
One of the
nice.
World
Look at that.
Championships.
Very nice. I'm watching.
And that young man's trying to get out. That's a new addition to the Goodyear ballpark here. Climbing wall out there.
Well, you, Murph, and Bartle can try that after the ball game. They let older folks do that after the game.
Us senior citizens, yeah. Here's Jumbo Diaz, big right-hander coming on. He pitches, and he's contractually obligated to pitch whenever we televise a spring training game.
Or during the season.
45 appearances last year, 3.14 ERA. Well, we're happy to be joined now in the booth by Indians general manager Mike Chernoff, and certainly these are exciting times for fans. What about for the front office? Is spring training a time to take a breath because you already put the team together in terms of giving Terry Francona and company all the pieces to work with? What's your kind of attitude right now?
We don't breathe during spring training. We just hope that nobody gets hurt and everyone stays good. No,
well,
it's you know, it's exciting to see some baseball again and to get the team together. I think we saw through the year last year the team really came together. And even into the offseason, you saw guys kind of getting together a little bit more, talking a little bit more, and it's been fun to get the group back together this year.
You know, you hit on an interesting point. I've often wondered, not that I'm asking you to give away any trade secrets here, but how much diligence can you really do when you go on and add a new player to the clubhouse? Because that chemistry is important. You don't want somebody who's going to come in and upset the apple cart. But how much background work can you really do to find out if this guy's the right quote-unquote fit?
We spend a ton of time on that. We have some people around the office, John McDonald, Travis Hafner, Grady Sizemore, guys like that who have been in the league, have a lot of contacts around the league, and we're constantly seeking out people that, you know, someone like Edwin Encarnacion, who has he played with that might be willing to tell us what he's like in the clubhouse, or Boone Logan. What kind of guy is he? How's he going to react when Tito gets him up and down or brings him in different situations? It's so important to us, so we spend a tremendous amount of time on that.
And plus Tito, knowing the people that he knows, and you know, your coaching staff, you got to utilize everybody, don't you?
Exactly.
Well, I want to know a little bit about that Encarnacion signing, because I'm sitting out here in Arizona reading about it, that we have a chance, and we really did have a chance, and we ended up signing him. That was something special, huh?
It was a crazy night. Chris was out at Little Mermaid. The Edwin's agent was on roller coasters out at Six Flags somewhere, and I was back in New Jersey with my family. Of course, those things always happen
when you're
right at holiday time or something like that. But it was a fun time. It kind of sped up. We took a patient approach to the offseason in trying to fill the first base slot. And as we got past winter meetings, we started to pick up some momentum and see that it could be a reality with Edwin. And then right before Christmas, things really sped up. And, I mean, a huge credit to ownership.
I was going to
Paul
say, they
took
opened
a
up
leap
the
of
wallets
faith.
and said, here we go, Merry Christmas.
Exactly, and invested in the team. Felt like it was the right time to do it. And obviously it ended up with us getting him.
And boy, everybody in Cleveland has to be excited about the way this team looks right now. And it is showing in season ticket sales.
There you go! Mike Terry was asked about Francisco Lindor the other day. All of the things that come, the trappings that come with winning an American League pennant, going to the World Series, he's in high demand. You know, whether it's commercials, whether it's fans, whatever it may be, MLB and various commitments. But Terry said, I'm not worried about it. If there's one guy that I don't have to worry about with regards to all that other stuff, it's him, because he loves to play the game. He wants to be great at playing the game. He doesn't let all those other distractions, you know, bother his preparation. At what point in his development, after you guys drafted him, did you realize he had a chance to be this special?
Well, I think even through the draft process, you see the tools and you see those skills. I mean, he had incredible actions at shortstop. You can dream on those things. I think once we got him in the system, we realized that along with just that talent that was there, the work ethic was there and the drive was there. I mean, from day one, all he's ever talked about is wanting to be a champion. And so you see that he is, and I think that's why Tito probably said that, you see that he's actually dedicated to doing the little things that it takes to maximize his talent. And that's what we've seen, whether it was in the minor leagues or as he transitioned to the major leagues, into a great year last year.
How about that youngest to win a Gold Glove for an Indian since Rick Manning?
Well, you know, sometimes you're meant to be in the big leagues at 20 or 21. No, but I mean, it is something special at his age, because he was thrown in not only defensively, but...
That's something special right there. Deep center and onto the warning track. Pulled on by Hamilton. Dashing back to first is Ramirez, one away.
He fit into the number 3 hole with Michael Brantley going out early. And I mean, for a young kid to do that is something very special.
Yeah, we saw it early with his mindset. I mean, when he first came up, he struggled a little bit.
Right.
Especially
First 100
offensively.
at-bats.
First 100 at-bats, he hit 200 with a 500 OPS. It's not like it just came naturally to him. Nothing does in the big leagues. I mean, you know, it's a hard game, but he had the mindset of how do I figure out a way to get through this and become the player I want to be. And he's constantly trying to get better.
Yeah.
He's not living with what he did last year. It's how do I improve on it?
He enjoys the game. He plays with a smile. And remember his first major league hit in Detroit? Running first base.
Yep. Gotta love it.
Yeah, gotta love it. You talk about the game will humble you. It's unbelievable.
So here's Edwin Encarnacion. Already talked about the offseason acquisition, which was huge in terms of what this guy can bring from a productivity standpoint. Mike, I was asked a lot about, you know, not having Mike Napoli, that leadership presence. And I said, look, he served a huge role for this club. But after last year, Kipnis, Lindor, Ramirez, all these players, the young guys, what they went through, they don't really need someone to maybe lead them in terms of experience. I think they've got that already now within. What's your take on that leadership role in the clubhouse?
Yeah, two parts of it. One, the hardest part in signing Edwin was not being able to bring Nap back. He meant so much to the team, both on and off the field. We would have loved to have had it back in that capacity to bring that element. I think the way he shows up every day is like no other player I've seen. At the same time, what you talk about, a lot of our players talked about it throughout the offseason with us. They learned a lot from him. He had a lasting impact on them. And just going through the experiences that they went through last year. I mean, I know we got to Game 7 of the World Series. It wasn't easy getting there. Those guys lived through a lot of challenges, figured out how to get over the hurdles and the setbacks that happened in the season. And I think they each grew from that in that leadership area of figuring out how to do it.
Encarnacion smashes one back up the gut. Ramirez will stop at second. 2 on with 1 out here in the third. Well, experience is the greatest educator, and you're right with what they went through and the way Terry managed. And I think the way the players watched how Terry managed, never lost his composure, never got, to a point where he was, oh geez, we can't win now, we lost another guy. Never. And I think they all took their cue from him.
Well, you see it with guys, whether it's Kluber, Andrew Miller, Tito, guys who put in the work in their preparation to know that they are giving everything they can on the field. And look, sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way or doesn't go your way, but you pick up your head the next day and you figure out a way to get through it.
Well, yeah, you tell me you get to the 7th game of the World Series, you're not going to have your best hitter around, Michael Brantley. Your second and third starter aren't going to be there through the September, and I'd say you'd be crazy, but they found a way to do it.
Well, I think we thrived off of the adversity.
You know what? They ended up turning it over, and they certainly did.
Yeah, you see a guy like Josh Tomlin step up, or you see Jose Ramirez have the year he had, even though at the beginning of the season the opportunity didn't look like it was going to be there.
He was my MVP for this ball club last year.
Even Ryan Merritt stepping in, our guys viewed it as an opportunity instead of a hurdle.
See Nelly Rodriguez coming into the ball game to run for Edwin Encarnacion. Rodriguez along with, man,
who's that?
Yan Gomes.
Go
I'll tell
figure.
you what, he's got to be wondering what in the world. If you joined us late, I mentioned earlier that he got hit by an Andrew Miller fastball the other day in live BP, and now he gets bumped here today.
You can't get out of the way of that, right in the shoulder. And this is day 1 of spring training. That's the last thing you want. Straight up in the air. And now we got a 20-second timeout. Well, we're supposed to talk to him. We'll see in the 4th. May have an ice pack on his shoulder.
Well, here's Bradley Zimmer getting his second opportunity. Drew a walk to load the bases back in the first inning. Mike, you've got to be excited about the depth that the organization has been able to build up now. And I look at Bradley Zimmer, and we saw Greg Allen in the ball game, and you got Yandy Diaz all fighting for outfield spots. Daniel Robertson, I know, is in camp, but you have to like the way that these guys are starting to develop through the system now. And a nice diving stop by Votto, going to rob Zimmer of a hit, but he will pick up an RBI, and the Indians tie the game at 2.
You know, I think our scouts, really, it's a huge credit to our scouts and development people. They have, over the past 5 years, really just relentlessly tried to figure out ways to bring in the right guys and develop them so that they could be the depth options for it. Whether it's a guy like Francisco Lindor being ready to take over in the spotlight, a big shortstop spot, or a guy like Ryan Merritt slotting into a spot start here and there, whatever it is. We know that as a small market team, we have to continue that pipeline of talent coming through, and our scouts and development guys have done a tremendous job in just continuing to fill that pipeline.
Second and third, 2 down, and here's Daniel Robertson fouling one back.
That's the way this outfield played last year, you know, in a platoon system, and they were very successful. And it's hard to be a platoon system and succeed at the major league level. You know, going to get a guy that can help you against left-handed pitching. And you had Rajai last year with Michael being out, Ramirez filled in. You had guys all over. Tyler Naquin stepped up, who, being a #1 draft pick, had a great season for us. So it was fun to watch how everything fell into place.
Robertson bangs one on the ground to short, backhanded there by Alcantara. And Robertson beats it out and picks up an RBI. The Indians take the lead.
Got down the line pretty well.
Pretty good wheels right there, huh?
That's the kind of player he is. Scrappy.
Well, he had to go into the hole, and you take your time, make sure you plant, and you want to make a good throw, which he does. But I'll tell you what, getting down the line, Robertson beat it out. Good hustle.
Those are the things that go a long way in Tito's book, too.
Well, that one and the double play, the throw to home on day #1 at home plate, that was pretty nice as well. It's a hustle single. Keep the inning going and a chance to add on.
Well, here's Greg Allen, another one of those talented young outfielders. We talked about Brad Zimmer. Allen, though, he's a switch hitter and speed.
I want to hear about your assessment on him. I hear good things about this kid as far as being a defender and good speed. He can steal bases.
I mean, incredible center fielder, tremendous range, and really just true center field instincts when he's out there. Switch hitter at the plate and a great base runner. This is a guy with a bright future in front of him.
So that has all the signs of saying maybe a leadoff hitter, switch hitter that can run and play center.
He's got the potential to be that. On top of it, and probably most importantly, is the mindset. He was out at strength camp all winter, December and January, trying to get better.
Yeah.
Deadlifting 600+ pounds or whatever it was. Our strength guys were drooling over this. Oh yeah, he won the conditioning test that we have at the beginning of camp. I mean,
Are you kidding me?
He's a dedicated guy.
The 0-2 pitch. Rick was just dead when he lifted, period, back in his day. I don't know about deadlifting weight.
They didn't have 600 pounds of weight in the whole clubhouse. They had 3 dumbbells, a 10, a 5, and a 2.5. They didn't have 600 pounds anywhere. It was against the law to lift weights.
The 1-2 on the way to Allen, and he bangs it to third. Oh, it eats up Votto. Allen flying down the line. A close play.
Good play.
And they got him to end the inning. Well, Mike, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Indians general manager Mike Chernoff with us. The Indians come back with a pair here in the third, and they now lead it 3-2. here in Goodyear. The Indians lead it now 3-2. Fans enjoying the Cactus League opener. Andrew Miller coming on to pitch now for the Indians. And we've got Yan Gomes all hooked up and ready to go down in the Indians dugout. Yan, how are you?
Doing, oh boy, another ball coming at me.
Hey, you are
Doing
like a
all right.
magnet right now.
Yeah, trying to get all these out of the way now.
I told fans watching back home that Andrew Miller plunked you the other day, and now
Yes.
you get one in the shoulder here this afternoon. You got to be wondering what's going on.
Just getting the body ready. I know it's
Yeah,
going to happen during the year.
It's too early. It's not even March yet.
I know, and I wish I was a slower guy, too. That was a little too hard to take a hit on.
Miller delivers, and that's in there for a strike. Hey, let's start with Andrew Miller. When he came over last year, could you have imagined just how he would impact games and impact the ball club?
You knew what you were getting. You knew you were getting probably the best reliever in the game. That I guess at the time maybe wasn't the closer. We knew he was going to lengthen our bullpen, but man, when you got to see him on our side, you get to see how special he was. And I mean, I don't know how many times a reliever gets an MVP for a playoff series, and that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think he pitched 19 innings last year in the postseason, had 30 strikeouts, gave up a couple of runs. I mean, it was just, and you had to wonder at the end. Everybody's on fumes at the end.
Yeah.
But it was impressive to watch those guys all gut it out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm pretty sure if it was a 10-game series, everyone would have still been all fired up for it, man. Because, you know, you're in the game that you fight so much for, and you're trying to be the last team that wins, and everyone was just throwing everything they had out there, and it showed. Just happened that, and there's another.
Yeah, he gets to that slider. That slider is about as nasty as you can get. It's like a frisbee trying to catch it, isn't it?
I mean, it's coming out of a 6 whatever guy, man. He's so big and so, I mean, he's got a lot of movement going. You're trying to somehow catch up to what he's going to throw, and he throws a lot of strikes, and that's what makes him like so good. You know, I'm pretty sure last year he just cracked the double digits in walks, and that's just kind of unheard of.
That was absurd. You know, his walks to strikeout ratio, 3 or 4 walks. It's absolutely crazy. But you know, if I'm a hitter and I go up to have to face this guy, I'm going to start swinging from the first pitch, because if you get to 2 strikes, you don't have a chance.
Exactly, but you know, it's not like he's a one-dimensional pitcher. He's got, you know, it's an unbelievable fastball that just zips in there, and then he's got the slider that everyone knows, and he can throw both of them for a strike. So and what impressed me the most is how, and I'm not like trying to insult anybody, like how smart he really is. For a guy that has 2 pitches, you figured he's just going to get out there and throw, you know, his 2 best pitches. But no, he's actually really studies the game a lot, and that I think played a big part into our late inning guys and just the bullpen.
It was fun to watch these guys feed off each other.
Well, this has got a chance to be a really quick inning. So quickly, before Andrew sets them down in order, Jan, everybody I know is pulling for you and wishing you the best of health this year. And what are you hoping for this year?
Well, I mean, definitely with health. It's not something that you know, my body's kind of deteriorating, and when I throw it hurt. It's nothing like that. My body's in the best shape I've ever been. I'm healthy as I've ever been. It's just, you know, little freak accidents, man. Something that I can't control, and I just can't look at those and try to avoid them, because you really can't, you know. So I'm just going out there playing the same way I play. I play hard, and whatever happens is in God's hand. I can't control that.
Yeah, you got to play the game 100%. You got to give it all the time and see what happens.
Wow, base hit by Tucker Barnhart. Stop the presses. Andrew Miller's giving up a base runner. First time out here in spring training, but you're even surprised that happens even in his first spring training game.
We tend to not look so much into this, because then I think Andrew has an extra gear. Not taking anything away from Barnhart. That was a heck of a hit, but I think he has like an extra gear when season kicks in.
Yeah. I know what I want to ask you. I'm looking at number 7 on your back this year. You gave up number 10 to Encarnacion. I mean, did you do it on your own? Did you guys talk about it? How did it go about?
Well, I knew I played with Eddie when he was in Toronto.
Right.
We were both there, and I knew he was number 10. And you know what? Anything I can do to keep the big man happy, man.
Out of respect.
If that's just taking my giving him my number.
Oh, what a stop by Lindor. But
that guy,
safe at second base is
You could talk about that guy too all day, man.
Wow. That's a heck of an effort right there. This is game 1 of spring training again, as we have pointed out a number of times.
Yeah, I never thought he'd get there. He smothers it, and he even tries to flip it out of the glove and get the out at second.
That's an exciting kid right there, man. He's just brings so much enthusiasm to the game, and it's fun watching him.
And you saw a year ago, we were talking about his defense the other day. I mean, he's into every pitch defensively, too.
Yeah. You know, you look at him, and he's controlling that infield and probably the outfield, too, because he's like that kid in Sandlot. Bad News Bears that just goes and tries to catch everything.
Kelly Leak.
Yeah.
There's a
it's coming at me. Make a. Oh, there you
Well,
go.
I know one thing. A couple of years ago, the infield for the Indians was one of the worst in baseball. And since Lindor's been here, it's turned around. It's now one of the best. So, I mean, that has something to say about it in its own right.
Yeah. I mean, he's young and electric, and everybody tries to keep up with him, and it helps.
Fouled off to the left. Well, the other thing, too, Jan, in terms of your situation, is that you and Roberto have a good working relationship. Obviously, you helped him when you were down, and you know, vice versa when you guys were in the postseason. I mean, that's got to be good, because I know you both want the best for each other, but you're going to push each other as well, aren't you?
Absolutely, man. And you know, I've always told him, play the game as if you're a starter, man. I mean, that's how I did it when I was in Toronto, and even when I came in here. You don't want to take a step back when a backup comes in. You want him to our pitchers to still trust him, and we've both done that to each other. We have like you said, a good line of communication now, and you've seen him, man. Like he's a really smart catcher, a really good defender, and that pop he's got in his bat definitely helps.
Bases loaded now with 2 down. The last 2 hits haven't left the infield. Martinez had a little trouble getting it out of his glove on that last play, but Cincinnati threatening now with 2 down, and the speedster Billy Hamilton. So, Jan, when you got a guy like Billy Hamilton at the plate, I mean, it's got to have everybody defensively on edge, because one misstep and this guy can beat anything out.
Absolutely, and I think with a guy on is probably the best way you want to.
Yeah, you got bases loaded. You can go to any base.
Yeah, you can go to any base now. I'm willing to bet that everyone on the bases is a little slower than him. So you're trying to get an out right now, and but yeah, when he comes up, I'm like, just please don't get on, man. He's gonna be running everywhere out there.
Yeah, for a catcher, if a guy like Hamilton, or even, you know, last year when Rajay Davis was in town, we'll see him this year when we play Oakland. I mean, everybody knew he was running, and they still couldn't throw him out.
That's the thing, man. With guys like Rajay and Billy and the guys that steal a lot of bags, they go a lot. I mean, they're running all the time. So you know they're going. The defense is ready for it. The pitcher's ready for it. You know, the catchers are ready for it. And they just still, I mean, their speed is obviously there. But, you know, getting to watch Rajay, he was really smart base running. I got to see a lot of that.
Jan, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck this year.
All right, thank you, guys.
That's Yan Gomes. Greg Allen running it down in center field. The Reds leave him loaded. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Indians on top 3-2. Back here in Goodyear, Arizona, Indians on top 3-2 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The World Baseball Classic will be played this spring, and from the Indians organization, a number of players will be participating, most notably Lindor, Miller, Perez, Santana. Then you got Giovanni Urshela, Joe Colon, guys who are trying to make the club, Chris Colabello, and some other minor leaguers. So the Indians will certainly be well represented in the WBC. Look, there's been a lot of talk about this, and as you take a look at the numbers from Luis Alberto Bonilla, as he winds it up and fires to Michael Martinez. Everybody understands the World Baseball Classic is important. It's not ideal that your players are going off to play in that and they won't be with your team during one of the most important parts of the season, which is spring training, which is where you build your chemistry and sort of you come together and get to know everybody. So you're going to lose. Like Terry said, we're going to be without our shortstop. You're going to go out there every day to do infield drills, and Francisco Lindor is not going to be there. And so that's a little bit unsettling. And he said, well, to sort of balance that out, he goes, we'll probably be doing more fundamental drills later in spring training than usual, because that's when we'll have everybody back together. Carlos Santana will be back, Lindor will be back. You'll have those guys, right, and you'll kind of work through that. Now, Edwin Encarnacion could very easily be playing for the Dominican Republic. He declined because for him, coming to a new team, he said, look, I really feel like I need to get to know my new teammates.
That's a good idea.
And so he will not be going. Otherwise, obviously, he'd probably be one of their best players.
I don't know if there is no ideal time for the WBC when you think about it. When they play it, this is really the only time. You're not going to take 2 weeks off in between the season like at the All-Star break, because you can't, stop the season like that. So when do you do it? Nobody's going to play in November as long as the season goes, because guys will be down for over a month. Yeah. For the most part. So it's a tough time of the year.
Carlos Santana played for that Dominican team that won the WBC back in 2013. That's back when Carlos was a catcher. Remember, he was on the mound when I think it was Fernando Rodney got the final out.
Sure was. He helped him throw the arrow into the air.
That's right. 2 down for Jose Ramirez.
They're the defending champs. That is correct.
Ramirez doubled and scored in the first. He walked and scored in the third. Talk about picking up where he left off. Line to short, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 4 complete from Goodyear. It's the Indians 3 and the Reds 2.
baseball is back in 2017 with the MLB.com at-bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download the #1 app for live baseball. That is MLB.com at-bat.
New pitcher for the Indians is Shawn Armstrong. As we head to inning number 5 here in Goodyear, Armstrong last year pitched in 10 games for the big league club. No wins or losses. The ERA just over 2.5. I know he'd like to cut down on the walks in just those 10 2/3 innings pitched last year. Here's Yandy Diaz coming in to play third base. Diaz, the way I understand it, he was originally an outfielder, then transitioned to the infield, has become a reliable third baseman. Now they're trying to transition him back to the outfield, or at least add that to his resume.
Well, you know what they do. The more positions you play nowadays, the better off you are.
Pitches outside. Well, the one thing Diaz, who is originally from Cuba, he can hit. He's batted .307 in his career in the minor leagues. Last year hit .325 at AAA Columbus in 95 games. Just his 3rd year in the Indians organization after coming from Cuba. He was the International League Rookie of the Year. So again, another exciting young player. He's just 25 years old. But you look at his minor league numbers, and I think it tells you that offensively the tools are there. It's just a matter of where does he fit defensively.
Yeah, find a position. That happens to a lot of guys. You know, they speed you up if you can swing the bat and you can put the ball in play, unless you're an exceptional defender. You know, then you may have a chance to move up that ladder just as quickly.
Arizmendi Alcantara has struck out, flied out today. Armstrong with a big curveball strikes him out. Well, we're right back with you tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to take our show on the road over across town to Mesa, Arizona, home of the Chicago Cubs. Danny Salazar will make his spring debut on your home for Indians baseball, Sports Time Ohio.
Be our first visit into Mesa, into their new ballpark. The Oakland A's trained in Hohokam, where they used to be.
Yeah. I can't remember if I might have been over there last year for Sports
Into
Time
the Cubs?
Ohio. One of those. Yeah, we did a few reports last year from different ballparks. But I know one thing: there won't be an empty seat in the house.
No, they can't. There was a lot going on here as far as people, Cubs fans, trying to get tickets out here.
I understand that every game they play in this year, road or home, spring training wise, is sold out.
Well, there's a lot of people that live here in the they're snowbirds from Chicago.
Yeah.
And you would know, you played with them in the golf outing on Thursday.
Yeah, I play with a number of guys. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of, and especially after winning the World Series, Cubbies fans they're out in full force.
Swung on and missed. Votto is down on strikes, so Shawn Armstrong has punched out a pair here in inning number 5. Looked like a weird swing from Votto.
It almost looks to me like he's not even picking up the baseball. He's just trying to hit it everything to left field. But and he's choking up a lot, and he's been tardy on everything.
Eugenio Suarez steps in. He homered in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd against Mike Clevinger. And he goes fishing, but comes up empty. Clevinger looked sharp in his 1 inning of work, struck out a pair. Set him down 1, 2, 3. Armstrong looking very sharp here as well. First time I think we've seen the shift today. Indians have 3 on the
Already
left side of the infield.
Day 1 in spring training, huh? And that home run he hit off a left-hander that's not overpowering went to right field.
Yeah.
So maybe he hits the ball the other way in the air and tries to pull it on the ground.
Shoots that one out of play.
But the approach off Armstrong would be, for me, going the other way with that slider that he has. Good off-speed pitch.
Missed inside. Cincinnati last year used 52 players in all. But what really jumps out at you, Rick, is that a dozen of those 52 were making their major league debut.
Yeah, that's a dozen of them. Think of that. That's an awful lot for one year.
Popped up foul, out of play.
A lot of turnover in Cincinnati the last few years.
But the Indians showed that you can turn it around quickly if you've got some right pieces in place. And obviously for Cleveland, a big key to their turnaround was Terry Francona. The 1-2 offering, yeah, it's just inside. But you think about that, wasn't it 2012? We had that August where I think they lost all but 4 games in the month.
They won 5 games in the month of August. Yeah, 5 games. That was a rough month.
4 years later, they're in the World Series. So I mean, it can happen, but you certainly have to have a lot of things go right.
Well, you look at Cincinnati in 13. You remember they were in the playoffs and they had the Giants down 2-0. The Giants came back to beat them. They won 90 games, and then they went from 76 to 64 to 68 in the last 3 years.
Line to right, and that's going to get in for a hit. So Suarez
There's the
keeps
base
the
hit
inning
the other
alive.
way. He had him down on the count. Good at bat by Suarez, being down on the count 0-2 to hang in there, get it back to full, and get a base knock.
Jesse Winker will bat with 2 down. He singled and scored in the second, and called out on strikes back in the 4th inning. And another good pitch by Armstrong. I think Sean Armstrong's in a spot here, Rick. You look at the Indians bullpen, and we were talking before we came on the air, pretty much 6 of the 7 spots are spoken for, I would think, and that leaves one battle, one spot up for grabs, and Armstrong is certainly in the mix.
You would think so.
A bit high.
Yeah, there's maybe that one spot in the bullpen and possibly that utility infield position.
And then the outfield, depending on Michael Brantley,
well,
could be fluid.
Well, yeah, you'll see what happens with Michael throughout the course of the spring, but he's the important factor there. What changes that?
Swung on and missed. Now to second base goes Suarez. And on the wild pitch, he's in scoring position with 2 down, a 1-2 count on Winker. Yeah, I was asking Terry Francona earlier, from a lineup standpoint, last year he didn't really tip his hand much as to how he was going to go about an everyday set lineup. He said today, one thing I can tell you, Rajay Davis will not be leading off this year. Swung out and missed, and Sean Armstrong strikes out 3 here in the 5th. The Reds strand a runner in scoring position, but Armstrong looks very good here in the 5th. Indians lead it by a run.
It's back to the 2017
And on the board.
What do you call that game there, Arch?
Call that cornhole.
Okay, well, it's more of a, you see that more in football tailgating than you do baseball
you know,
games.
it's nice out here.
Yeah.
The weather, they have the room out in the grass over on the berm out in right field.
Take a look at the Indians injury report right now. Michael Brantley, we all know the shoulder injury. Brandon Guyer's dealing with a little bit of a hamstring nuisance. Austin Jackson has a knee injury.
Yeah, Austin's got to, rehab from the
Yeah, he had
off-season.
surgery last year in
he
June.
had surgery, so, he won't be ready to start the year, but he is here
But
getting himself in
you
shape.
know, I've seen Austin taking batting practice and running, so
Just that
hopefully
you ease into it. That's all you do. You ease him into it.
Francisco Lindor getting one last at bat today. New pitcher for Cincinnati is Austin Bryce.
I will say this, if healthy, we know Austin Jackson can play center field. He's a very good defender.
And I think he could be an interesting guy.
Very interesting.
In the mix.
Absolutely. I mean, you're not looking coming out of spring training, but he very possibly could be throughout the course of the year, if healthy.
Upstairs.
He made that play when we were in Detroit when Armando Galarraga was on the mound and had that perfect game. Remember in the 9th inning?
Yep.
Made just a saving catch to keep that no-hitter intact. Until Mr. Donald ended up beating out that last play for the base hit.
Or did he?
Well, if it was today's game, it would have been a perfect game with replay.
By the way, did you see Jim Joyce retire?
I did. Jim Joyce and 3 others. Bob Davidson.
Bob Davidson also
John Hirschbeck.
retired. John Hirschbeck.
And one other one. Yes, there were 4 veteran umpires that retired.
I thought it was just the 3, but you may be right. In any event, we'll see some new blood coming through the umpiring ranks. Eric Steinmetz has come on to run for Francisco Lindor. He'll stand and play shortstop. Nelly Rodriguez getting an opportunity to bat after he took over at first base, and he gets plunked. So Austin Bryce having a tough time finding the plate here in his first spring outing. Bryce walks the leadoff man and now hits Rodriguez. By the way, just to follow up, I think with Brandon Guyer, Terry said it will probably be 4 or 5 games before maybe Guyer gets into a game, but they're not concerned with all the time they have to get him ready. And Jason Kipnis is doing a little bit of a shoulder strengthening program. Said it's more preventative than anything else. Just obviously you want to get him built up so that he's ready for the long haul, but he will DH tomorrow.
Okay.
Over against the Cubs. So
the things we're forgetting that we're a week ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So
normally they'd just be getting into workouts right about now.
Well, they'd be doing physicals and things like that. So they are a week ahead of schedule with the WBC.
Adam Moore, his first at bat today, takes a strike. Last year AAA, hit 247. And that's outside. Bradley Zimmer waits on deck as the Indians try to extend their 3-2 lead here in the 5th. They've got a bit of a rally started with a walk and a hit batter. Traffic in front of Adam Moore. But he is down on strikes, 1 away.
Well, the best way to enjoy Indians baseball all summer is by becoming a season ticket holder. And season ticket holders receive savings over single game prices, postseason priority, and much, much more. Visit Indians.com season tickets for more details. And my, has that gone up since the signing of Edwin Encarnacion.
Yeah. It's generated a lot of fan excitement and interest. I mean, look, going to the World Series alone does that. But then, as you pointed out, ownership really stepping up in a big way to say, hey, we're serious about this and trying to push it over the top and get there and win the whole thing.
I think they've already sold 1 million tickets so far this year. And, you know, their season total was just a hair under 1.6 last year. So this has a chance to be a very good summer.
Bradley Zimmer socks one to center, coming around third. Eric Stamets will score, and it's a 4-2 Cleveland lead as Bradley Zimmer delivers his second RBI of the afternoon.
Did a nice swing staying through the middle on this pitch. That ball stayed middle of the plate, but he took it right back into center field. A nice swing. He'll get his first hit and his first ribby of the spring. So the walk comes around and hurts Bryce.
Now Daniel Robertson, who's had a terrific spring debut. Robertson made a nice throw or a nice catch and then threw out a runner trying to score from third. Last time at the plate he came up and drove in a run with a base hit in the left. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't in the left. It was that ground ball to short that he just flat beat it out. And showing that kind of speed and hustle, it goes a long way with your manager and coaching staff.
Well, like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, what they're looking for. They may not have a chance to make this team, but you certainly have a chance to open up some eyes. You know, it doesn't stop you from playing hard in the way the game should be played.
Well, isn't that the great thing about baseball, too, though, Archie? You got Robertson, who I think is 5'8", maybe 5'9", and he plays the same position in the outfield. And Bradley Zimmer is also an outfielder. He's 6'5", 220. The two of them together running in the outfield, it's just, you look at it and think, man, how can that guy compete with it? But in baseball, you can. Robertson waiting the 3-1 pitch with Greg Allen waiting on deck. He slaps one toward right field. Jennings makes the catch. Only runners hold. Ball gets away, but nicely backed up there. And Nelly Rodriguez had to hold. Eugenio Suarez just a good heads-up play, being in position, keeping the feet moving.
Yeah, no way he's going to tag up right there. So if you're Jennings, you just get it into your cutoff man and sort of short hopped him as it ricochets past. But you're right. Suarez made he was a heads up.
So here's Greg Allen, 0 for 2. Cuts and misses. Nick the catcher on the follow through. Terry said this is for him the most fun aspect of spring training, is watching these young guys and what they do with their opportunities. As Allen pops one to left, this should end the inning. And it will. Indians tack on a run. Bradley Zimmer is driven in a pair for Cleveland. They lead the Reds 4-2. The Daytona 500 is right around the corner, and Michael Strahan, Fox analyst Jeff Gordon have already made their plans.
Michael, Daytona Day is coming. You got any plans?
Yes, I do, my man. I'm going to get together with a bunch of friends. We're going to do our Daytona Day chili cook-off at my place, and I'm going to watch you call the race.
Awesome. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great Daytona Day.
It always is. Great spectacle down there in Daytona Beach, Florida. Well, we move on to inning number 6, and Joe Colon comes on now to pitch for Cleveland. Sean Armstrong worked a scoreless 5th after Andrew Miller worked a scoreless 4th. And Mike Clevinger worked a scoreless 3rd inning. So Eric Staymet stays on as shortstop. Up and away, ball 1. Richie Schaefer has taken over in left field defensively now for the Indians.
It's like he's breaking in a new glove.
Ground ball to second. And Michael Martinez takes care of that one away. It's going to bring up pinch hitter for the catcher spot, Joe Hudson. And that ball's popped high and foul down the left side, out of play. But a nice play up there by that fan. That's a long way from home plate, Arch.
Yes, it is.
Make a bare hand grab. Well done, sir.
Yes.
Got the World Series tribe jersey. No
Well,
problem.
he came game 1. He's ready to go.
right.
He was working hard all off season, drinking his beer, getting ready to catch his first foul ball.
All right, take another look. Fans.
He didn't have to deal with the sun a whole lot, but he gets up, stands, and he
Over the head. That's even more impressive on the
yes, it
second look.
was. He took it right out of the hands of that guy from the red shirt that thought he had it.
Wow, that's, I mean, that might go. That might be play of the year, day 1 of spring training. We may not see a better fan catch than that this year.
Yeah, we will. That's a long year, but that was, what a way to start off game 1.
Well done, sir. We tip our cap to you. I understand, speaking of first day highlights, that ball's hit a long
That
way
may
deep
be
to
out
left.
here.
Schaefer makes the catch just in front of the fence, deep in the left field corner. Tracked that a long way.
Well, welcome. He just comes into the game. It's the second time he's had to run over to the line. This one stayed fair, but it's right in front of the fence and makes the catch for out number 2.
So remember several years back, opening day, U.S. Cellular Field.
Yes.
And our man Lou Marson got robbed by Mark Burley on the play of the year on the first day of the season.
I do remember that. The
he
flip
flipped it between his legs.
Yes, I do.
Line in the left field. That's a base hit. Aristides Aquino.
I do remember that.
Well, I
And
understand they're going to retire Mark Burley's jersey
they
this
are.
year.
June 24th in Chicago. I checked to see if we were going to be in town. We're going to be in Minnesota. So it is June 24th. Burley's number will be retired. The left-hander. The guy that did anybody work any quicker than him?
No.
I mean, he'd get the ball, he'd throw strikes, and he said, let's go. You get me or I'll get you. And you know, he got the Indians a number of times. The Indians got him a number of times. He was around a 500 pitcher against the Tribe. But a great competitor.
Tony Renda with a man on and 2 down, batting here for Cincinnati in the 6th. Swung on and missed, just threw it by him upstairs with the heat. I was trying to remember. I couldn't think of the guy's name. When Burley, remember he threw the perfect game, and the manager, boy, I'm blanking out again.
What's that? All right, he threw the perfect game against Tampa.
It was.
Who did he throw it against?
Who's Chicago's manager? I'm just completely blanked out.
Ozzie Guillen?
Yeah. Remember Ozzie made the defensive change and Dwayne Wise goes into the outfield
Dwayne Wise
saves the game with that great catch?
I do.
And I remember Dwayne Wise saying afterwards, man, I was just so nervous because I mean, you get put into a game and you're like, holy mackerel.
That's a non-win situation.
Right.
You've got to make the play.
Well, he made an outstanding play.
He sure did, right at the wall, jumping up there to make the play.
And you've told the story a number of times that when Len Barker, didn't he was it Lenny who almost threw a no-hitter?
Bert Blyleven almost threw a no-hitter the week before Lenny threw his perfect game. So we were in Toronto. Dave Garcia is the manager. So we're out there. Bert's got a no-hitter going into the ninth. He takes Joe Charbonneau out of left field, puts Larry Littleton in. Little line drive, and it was old Exhibition Stadium. The lights are low. Line drive into the lights. Boom, it clanks off his glove. They give the guy a hit. Should have been an error. Give him a hit. Well, we go back to Cleveland, facing Toronto again, and here's Barker with a perfect game going into the ninth, and he was going to take Charbonneau out, and he told Lenny, he says, you take Charbonneau out, you're going to have to take me out too. So he left Joe in the ball game.
Well, he had you, so he didn't have to worry about left field.
But then he said, I'll leave him in as long as you catch everything in the outfield. So I told him I would.
So
there's Joe.
You went Kelly Leak on us then.
There's Grover. There you go. Toby
Still
Harrah,
great memories.
Kuiper, Hassey. A lot of guys that we see down the road.
2 down, runner at first. Good at bat for Renda, and he draws a walk. Keeps the inning alive. Gabriel Guerrero will bat now with 2 on and 2 out. Well, I know Lenny's busy, hard at work right now, getting his ball club ready to go.
Yeah, they may be down south a little bit playing about now.
Notre Dame College in Cleveland, and they
Joe's his hitting coach now.
That's right. They're together on the staff. Called strike on the outside corner. Mark Burley threw a perfect game, and also he had a no-hitter. That came against Texas, the no-hitter. Swung on and missed. Big swing and a miss by Gabe Guerrero. Count 0-2. Speaking of perfect games and no-hitters, I'm currently in production on a documentary that's going to air here on Sports Time Ohio about Abby Joss, Cleveland pitcher who threw a perfect game against the White Sox and a no-hitter against the White Sox.
Wow, the same ball club.
Yeah.
Huh? Now that goes back. What year was that?
Perfect game was in 1908, and the no-hitter I believe was in 1910. But how about that? I mean, same team gets them twice. Redbird said the only other guy to no-hit the same team twice since Addie Joss. Now, Addie Joss did it over 100 years ago. Lincecum, Tim Lincecum of the Giants no-hit the Padres twice.
Okay. A long time after Addie Joss did.
The 1-2 pitch swung on and he missed. Ball bounces. Moore can throw to first in time, and he does to end the inning. Red Strand a pair. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. It's Cleveland 4, Cincinnati 2.
The fetal
Back here at Goodyear Ballpark, fans shopping in the team shop, getting their spring training swag. Indians on top 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And we're joined now by Indians manager Terry Francona, the reigning American League Manager of the Year. How are you?
Matty, Arch, how are you?
Good, Terry. How's it going, bud?
It's going okay. It's early, but it's going okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have to enjoy just getting back into the competition where you're not necessarily against the other team, but you're watching guys go out and compete for a spot on your ball club.
Oh, it's fun to, wake up and know you have a game and just see the guys with a little extra pep in their step and, just see a lot of the guys, with their first, seeing Zimmer play and Greg Allen, it's all fun. You can always find a reason for something to be excited about.
And you're going to get a little better look at some of these guys with the WBC going on this year. That's a little different too this year.
Yeah, as much as you hate having guys leave, the other guys get to play, and so there's always something good that happens. And some of these guys are going to get a lot of extra bats because of it, and good for them.
Right now, Michael Martinez, who filled a valuable role for the Indians last year in that utility spot. But Terry, so much of your ultimate decision making comes down to sort of, it's not really the elephant in the room, but Michael Brantley. If he's ready, if he's not ready, a lot of other people's livelihoods and their decisions hang in the balance.
But it's true. And like you said, the elephant in the room, but it's true. I mean, if he's healthy, there's your number 3 hitter and your left fielder. If he's not, then you got to start thinking, is it 1 or 2 guys, and how do you move guys around and things like that. And we've proven we can handle it, but it's just such a nice guy to have on your ball club for a lot of reasons.
Well, that's what makes your job that much tougher. You have to wait and see. I mean, and people ask you day in and day out at these press conferences, what's your lineup going to be, or who's going to go there? You can't say, can you?
You know what, Arch? That's why I don't even mess around with it. I mean, early on especially, we're trying to get the guys their at-bats, and then there's no reason to start thinking about lineups, because as we get towards the last 10 days of camp, it'll almost make itself out. You'll be able to tell as we get down to February 25th. It'll start to take shape.
Well, Terry, last year, I mean, you had a few guys that kind of anchored spots in the lineup, but for the most part, there were a lot of moving parts, and you were still second in the American League in runs scored. So you don't have to have, I guess, a set 9. Maybe it'd be nice, but you don't have to.
I don't think you have to have a set 9. I think it's nice to have a set 4 or 5. Your guys that are playing every day, and then if you have some guys you can move around them, it really helps. And then when you have switch hitters and you have guys like Ramirez, even Carlos Santana that can move around, it makes it easier on everybody else.
Well, when you're lucky enough to have guys like Ramirez was the guy last year as far as the MVP for me, you moving him around, and he anchored himself in that number 5 hole to protect Napoli.
You know what, Arch? I know he doesn't necessarily look the part, as a 5-hole hitter. But when you're trying to protect the meat of your order, and you've got a guy like Jose that gives you such a good at-bat, from both sides of the plate, and he puts the ball in play and off a good pitching. Yeah. And I think, again, I'd laugh because I know other teams are looking at him, and you see a 5'7" 5-hole hitter, but he really handled himself really well.
Well, he was over 350 with everything. Guys on base, runners in scoring position, runners with 2 outs. I mean, you can't beat it. He's a tough out.
A lot of the things he does in a different way, but it reminds me of Brantley in so many different ways. Just, his ability to shorten up with 2 strikes or get the ball the other way and not take that strikeout.
Could you imagine if Brantley could hit 3rd and you got the big boy hitting
trying,
4th,
believe me.
Oh, I know it. And then you got Ramirez. Yeah. You talk about tough outs. That's going to be tough for any staff.
Well, we say it all the time. When you get one good hitter in your lineup, it's amazing what it does to the.
Colabello wraps one deep left center in the gap, but that'll go to the wall.
Really quickly, he told me a story. The first time you met him, you had to pay his cab fare in Boston, right, Tito?
It was actually in Minnesota.
Oh, it was in Minnesota?
Yeah, it was after the All-Star break. We were working out, and I could not get a ride home from the ballpark, and I was starting to get so irritable. I know that's shocking. And here comes this cab pulling up, and the guy was going to leave. And I think Colabello was going back to the hotel, and I said, I'll pay for your cab if you let me have it. Yeah. And that's how I met him.
That's right.
So it's always kind of
no
funny.
Money in his pocket.
He had just got called up, and and then I find out, he's a New England kid and everything, but he's a great kid. So it's kind of funny the way, the game's so small. You end up knowing everybody, and that's why you better be a nice person.
Well, and the game's crazy too, because Chris Colabello is a guy who, hey, maybe this is an opportunity for him, but then he starts looking around. You've got Edwin Encarnacion and all these other guys, so he's probably wondering, man, did I sign in the right place or not?
No, you know what though, and I understand that, Matty, but he's been so good about it. I mean, I talked to him before Edwin and then after Edwin, and his attitude never changed. He said, you know what, I'm going to go out and do my thing, and things will work out. And it's a pretty refreshing attitude, and he's right. You never have too many good players, and if guys are really doing well, you'll find a place for them, and things generally work out for guys that can help.
Well, Tito, if all else fails, sign him up to be on your foursome, because he drove the green twice. He was playing in the group behind me the other day. He can hit it a long way off the tee.
Some of these guys, it amazes me. Like a lot of them are pitchers. I mean, Dan Otero, that would not be my first pick. And the guys say that he just crushes the ball.
No kidding.
I mean, they're longer than I would give them credit for.
Well, Danny his pretty athletic family. His mom's a really good athlete. But, Dan said he would never admit that his mom could ever beat him in golf. But it wasn't long before he could beat his dad on the golf course. So, I mean, he's got some pretty good genes to work with.
Some of those guys do. I mean, I've seen Kluber hit it. I mean, they're young and strong, but, man, they let it go. They don't always end up in the fairway, but they can hit it a long way.
Well, the good news is when those guys get out on the mound, they carry the load for this team, from a pitching standpoint, whether it's the starters doing their thing during that 14-game win streak, or when you got to lean on the bullpen, they all do a tremendous job for it.
It's a fun, and you guys have heard me, the bullpen's so much fun to work with, because just their ability to, they want to be available. I mean, we've gone to those guys a lot, and I worry about it, and you never hear somebody saying anything. I mean, they just want to be available. And then the starters, again, I mean, that's hopefully why we're going to be good, that's a big reason. Because every time you send somebody out there every day, you feel like you got a chance to win.
Yeah, that's where you want your 5 deep right there. Give me 5 starters and we'll take our chances. That's your lineup.
Yeah, and you know what, like you say, then you score runs and they're meaningful. You got 3 instead of being down by 5. You got a chance to win.
Well, right now, Eric Stamet's trying to tack on a run for the Tribe. Swing and a miss. That'll end it. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate your time.
Matty, Arch. See you guys tomorrow morning.
You got it, bud.
That's Terry Francona. We've played 6 in Goodyear. It's Cleveland 4, Cincinnati 2.
Go on sale. It'll be online only at Indians.com. That'll take place March 6th at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. That's March 6th, 10 a.m. You can lock into the best seats for the best games this year at the best prices of the season. That'll be March 6th. Visit Indians.com for more details.
New pitcher for Cleveland, right-hander Steve Delabar, who pitched on this Cincinnati club last year. Only 7 games. 10 walks, and 10 strikeouts in his 8 innings. But Delabar is a guy that, you know, like Sean Armstrong, who we saw pitch previously, trying to win a spot maybe in that bullpen. Guillermo Quiroz takes over behind the plate. Eric Gonzalez is now in at second base. This guy, speaking of Eric Gonzalez, is a tremendous defender already. And talking to different people this spring, there's sort of this consensus that if he was on another ball club, if he was in another organization, he might already be a starting player just from his defensive exploits alone. Terry went so far the other day as to say he believes Eric Gonzalez has Gold Glove caliber type defense already.
At both those positions, up the middle, short and second.
Yeah, and he can move around. They've played him in the outfield a little bit in the minor leagues, so he's kind of got a guy who's maybe, Rick, evolving into a potential utility role if needed.
Well, yeah,
but he might be more valuable right now for him and the organization to play every day in the minor leagues.
You can see that, because you're not going to get Lindor out of there. You got Kipnis at second. What are you going to do? How much playing time are you going to get at this level?
A little different last year. I mean, isn't it amazing when you think back to where Juan Uribe was at third, and so he wasn't going to play every day. So there was sort of this hybrid role early for Ramirez where he could play a little third, help out in the outfield in the absence of Brantley. Now it's 1 year later, different situation.
Totally different.
Punching it to center, and Greg Allen will play it on a hop. Go back and take a look last year in the postseason. Now, this is just for the postseason, but look at how almost evenly split the innings were between the starters and the bullpen. And look at the strikeouts.
Yeah, the strikeouts.
80 punch-outs by that bullpen.
Well, when you have Miller and Allen out there that go out there and you get a lot of swings and misses. Very impressive, 80 punch-outs.
But also,
and you're missing your number 2 and 3 starters, so think about that.
And it shows you too that how differently you can manage in the postseason. If you tried to do that in the regular season, you would never make it to the All-Star break.
But you have to have the players to do that, or the pitchers to do that coming out of that bullpen, and not many do. Talk about a hybrid or somebody like Miller. He recreated the whole Tito did as far as the definition of using your bullpen. You talk your starters, going to be 4 to 5 innings, and we'll work our way through it.
But even last year in that thrilling World Series that we all watched, by the end, you even saw Joe Madden starting to say, hey, you know what? I think Tito's on to something. Let's get the big guy up. Let's get Chapman up early and get him in there and use him longer, use him for more outs. So I think it's a situation where people watching say, boy, if I get in that situation, if I got a guy like that,
but Chapman wasn't the same guy when you use him for 2 innings like Miller is. I mean, that's the difference.
You have to have the mentality and the ability. A lot of things go into it. Last year, Andrew Miller, during the regular season with the Indians, 26 games, 1.55 ERA. 2 walks, 46 strikeouts. I mean, the numbers,
they didn't change.
Yeah.
The guy, he rarely walked anybody. Look at 2 walks to 46 punch-outs regular season, and he had a few more walks in postseason. But, he got out of a bases-loaded situation sometimes, and MVP of the ALCS. So what more can you say?
Well, I can say one more thing, and it's a little convoluted, but it's still kind of interesting. Andrew Miller was the first pitcher to produce 5 or more strikeouts in an outing of 2 innings or less twice in his postseason career, let alone in the same postseason, same series, in consecutive games or back-to-back days. He did it in the first 2 games against Toronto.
Yeah, he was his first 9 innings. He had 20 strikeouts coming out of the bullpen in the playoffs. So something you may not see again for a long time.
Right now, Steve Delabar trying to work to Brandon Dixon with a man on and 1 out. A little bit low. The thing that I guess I'm impressed with Miller too, and I talked to him the other day, is even with what he's accomplished and where he's at right now in his career, He said, I don't ever take it for granted and feel like I've got this thing licked, because I feel like you've always got to try to get better, always trying to learn something when you go out there. It's a great attitude to have. Fouled right side.
Well, I remember when Detroit had him, and he was a starter for them back in the day before he was traded to the Marlins for Cabrera, and went down there and spent some time in Boston and Baltimore and has been successful. But when he got into that bullpen role, and it originally went when Terry was in Boston when they got him, but you know, he was gone the next year. They got him late, and they never rushed him, and his it seems like his career took off once he got into that bullpen and settled in.
Yeah, and he told me
found
too.
an arm slot.
He told me that getting to the big leagues quickly with Detroit, he said it was a great experience. He enjoyed it, but he said looking back on it, I probably wasn't ready for that.
Right.
But I think it's hard for any pitcher. You know, you look at that. He said, you know, I hate that term. So and so is relegated to the bullpen. Like, hey, wait a minute, that's what I do. But you and I were talking before. You know, very, very rarely is there a Paul Shuey that's drafted as a relief pitcher, as a closer, and usually they're starters that maybe for one reason or another just don't pan out, and they go to the
they're
bullpen
a little short
to take advantage of what they do well.
They're a pitch short, or they can't, you know, they don't have a good breaking ball or a wipeout pitch. So what happens, you put them in the bullpen, and they're not used as much, and their velocity increases by 3, 4, 5 miles an hour. That's what we're seeing now, a lot of these guys.
And there's an adjustment. You know, like Andrew was telling me, look, when I was a starter, you have your routine, what you do to get ready. Now I'm in the bullpen, and I'm trying to figure out how do I do this? You know, you got to get up, you get down.
You got to develop your routine.
Yep. Runner goes. There's ball 4. So 2 on with a 1 out. And Steve Delabar's spring training debut. Chad Wallach will be the hitter now. And the other thing too that Andrew told me that I found interesting, you know, we talk about Arch, you know, the fact that these guys now, I mean, all the abbreviated windups. Well, Andrew's got that slide step, you know.
Right, never for being 6'7".
That ball's ripped into left field, and the bases are loaded. So 2 hits and a walk. But Andrew told me, he said, you know, it was actually something I was working on in spring training with Boston after they moved me to the bullpen. And he said, I have to give Bobby Valentine credit. He walked by and saw that, and he said, hey, what do you got there? He goes, that's a slide step I'm working on. He goes, use that all the time now. Bring that into the game and use it.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I did, and that's been very effective for him because, you know, he can hold the run game, and it you know, at 6'7", he looks like he's standing on top of you anyway.
And then he slings it up there, and like you say, that fastball slider throws them all for strikes.
And he changes the speeds on them too.
Yeah.
You never necessarily get the same slider twice. Jam job to second. Eric Gonzalez will flip it to the bag for 1, and on to first. They turn an inning-ending double play. Gonzalez to Stamets. And the Keystone combo here in the 7th gets the Indians out of trouble. They lead it 4-2. Fries, Arch.
There you go. Right up your alley.
Don't be afraid. Send them up this way. 4-2. Indians lead it here at Goodyear Ballpark. Bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, Tri-Town MVPs presented by the Cleveland Clinic Children's and the official kids fan club of the Cleveland Indians. Designed for kids ages 6 to 14.
Here's a look at the Cincinnati Reds defense as we go here to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And for Cleveland, Big Nelly Rodriguez will lead it off. Rodriguez, good power bat. Hit 26 home runs last year at Double-A Akron. There's a flare in the center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And he got hit by pitches last time up. This time he's got a solid single. Rodriguez came on for Edwin Encarnacion, who in his first at-bat of the spring ripped a line drive single and scored Jose Ramirez with the game's first run. Then in the 3rd, he smacked one up the gut.
Yeah, nice way to fit in, huh? Couple of singles, your first 2 at bats.
There is Guillermo Quiroz. Takes the pitch inside. Jackson Stevens delivers, and that's smacked in the hole. A base hit. Boy, right between the 3rd baseman and the shortstop, who were both trying to make a play on the ball, and that, we used to call that the old seeing eye single.
Seeing eye hit, but then again, as this spring goes on and the weather starts warming up, these infields get a little bit harder, and the ball jumps and it scoots through them. You know, so it's a little bit different hitting out here in the desert.
And now up comes Bradley Zimmer. He's had to have a lot of fun today. Walked his first time up, drove in a run on a ground out, good hustle in the 3rd, and then an RBI single in the 5th inning. Former #1 pick of the Indians back in 2014.
Took a fastball right back up the middle with a runner on second base. For his 2nd ribby of the game. Opportunity here again.
Lifts it to left. Well hit. Back is Winker. He's out of room. It's out of here. Bradley Zimmer, a 3-run homer to the opposite field. And the Indians have blown it open, taking a 7-2 lead. Boy, that ball shot out of here off of his bat.
Well, you know what? I was watching, and at second base, he just started running, so he must have realized it looked like something off speed down and away, and he stayed on it. That ball just kept carrying to left center. Watch where it lands, up over there on the berm where the fans are at. So that's a 3-run home run, and what an afternoon Zimmer has had. 5 ribbies.
Richie Schaefer takes a called strike. Oh, that's got to really leave Terry Francona feeling great about this day. He loves watching the young players, what they do with their opportunities, how they react, both good and bad.
Well, let's tell a story we talked about before with Terry in his press conference today when Zimmer was in spring training. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Playing against the Cubs, the score's 12-1. The Indians are winning. You know, you look at the scoreboard, you don't run 12-1. And Sandy told him, stay here. He ended up stealing a base. And it's like, geez, what are you doing? You don't do that.
He said he just got so excited, and you know, in the moment he's in the ball game, he kind of forgot what he was supposed to do.
Hey, you got room. You got room. You got room.
Oh, shied away. They were saying you got room.
Chad Wallach must have felt like he was right up against the seats the way he kind of short-armed it there.
Well, you know what? They say you have room, and I don't know if they can hear you, but you feel those stands right there. And, you know, he had 2 more steps, and That's the old short arm coming in.
But yeah, I mean, Terry, you know.
But like you said, you read the scoreboard. The scoreboard will tell you what you can and cannot do.
Strike 3 called. It's a lesson. You know, you learn.
Sure,
Sometimes you learn the hard way.
That's how you learn the game. You make mistakes. You fail or you make a mistake, and you learn from that, and hopefully you don't do it again. I mean, that's the whole point of teaching. When you're coming to spring training, man, you may think you're a star and you can do certain things, but you learn fast up here. But there's a way to play the game, and there's a way to play it and respect the game and respect the team you're playing against and your teammates.
Greg Allen pops one high in the air to right. And there are 2 down. Oh, nice afternoon, though, for Bradley Zimmer. We had Indians general manager Mike Chernoff on earlier and talked to him about this. I've been asked, I'm sure you've been asked about the idea of leadership and who fills that role. And I just feel like this team has grown up. Like when Terry Francona first started in 2013, it was a very young team. You needed Nick Swisher and Michael Bourne and Jason Giambi. Those guys filled a valuable role at that time, as did Napoli a year ago. And I'm not saying that they won't miss Mike, because we all love Mike Napoli. But from a leadership standpoint, I think they're kind of past that now. These guys have to lead.
Experience.
They've got to do it on their own now.
Yeah. Yes, they do. And you know what, though? It's almost like parents. Tito and his coaching staff with Mills, and everybody on down. And I mean, he really relies on his staff because they do a lot of instructing. You have to go through it. You have to succeed, but you fail before you succeed most of the time. And you learn from that. You just keep going. And you hear clubhouse chemistry. The Indians have that. I'm going to tell you something, because they really care. They don't have the superstars, but they just like to play the game. And that stems from their manager.
Eric Gonzalez, with the bases empty and 2 down, awaits the 3-2 pitch. And he strikes out to end the inning. But Bradley Zimmer having himself quite a day. He's driven in 5 on the afternoon, 3 with this big swing in the 7th. And the Indians lead it 7-2. Presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Nice day here in Goodyear. Game time temperature was a low 60s, but if you're in the sunshine, it's perfect. Up here in the shade, a little cool, but we'll take it. 7-2, 8th inning. And the Dover Tornado, Percy Garner, on for the 41 times last year. Had a 7-1 record and a 1.83 ERA. And this is another, young pitcher we saw last year that the Indians really high on his upside.
The movement on his pitches, good. I mean, if he can stay in the strike, he's got such a great sinker, and they can pound that ball on the ground. You just throw it for the middle of the plate and just let it take charge. Just be aggressive with it. Like that.
Oopsie.
But he had an opportunity in September to get called up and get in some games and see what it was like, and got a taste.
The 1-0 pitch. What he has, what separates Garner and what gives him an opportunity is that he has sort of a rare combination. He's a sinker ball pitcher, but he throws that sinker with a lot of velocity.
Yeah, and it's got great movement. The key is keeping it in the strike zone and throwing it for strikes, because it's tough to get in the air.
You just saw it right there. That wicked. So the Indians feel like the key for him is being able to throw that pitch consistently down in the strike zone. That's where you want to be as a sinker baller. We get that. And something else that he's got to work on,
his changeup,
from a development standpoint, is holding runners on base.
Yeah, well, that's part of becoming a major leaguer. The key is that you stay aggressive with pitch number 1, that power sinker that he has. He has to improve on that. Remember, he was trying to throw that changeup and slider for after he got to the big leagues, and then you work on running games. I mean, it's all part of the process.
And a leadoff single here in the 8th inning for Joe Hudson. We'll bring up Aristides Aquino, who had a base hit his last time up. But you can't help but like Percy Garner. I mean, if you're around him 5 minutes, he's a great kid. But like everybody else that's young in the game, you get that first taste. The adjustments are made. Now the question is, what do you do? Can you make that adjustment to stick around or to be a consistent performer? The one thing that I've learned this spring about Terry Francona and Mickey Callaway specifically, and I think you have to include Jason Bray in that mix. He gets his double play ball, and the Indians turn 2. Communication is what sets these guys apart. And you talk whether it's a Percy Garner or whether it's an Andrew Miller or whether it's a Corey Kluber. Terry and Mickey and Jason, they communicate the message with the player. And I don't say to the player, because it's a with thing. We're all in this together. Terry's talked about the fact that he and Mickey got together and talked to Corey Kluber about
pushing him back.
Look, you've logged over 200 innings each of the last 4 years. 34 in the postseason last year. A lot of those were on short rest. We want to kind of ease you into this. And it wasn't you're going to do this or else. It was here's what we're thinking. And they want him to buy into it as well. Now Corey's like, hey, I still want to be the guy on opening day. I feel very proud of that honor to pitch on opening day. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But I think what makes Terry and his staff successful is that, Arch, they're good at communicating what they want to do, and they're honest, they're open with the players, and I think the guys respect that in return.
Well, they have their enter and exit meetings, before the year starts, and when you get to spring training, before you leave. If you don't make this club and you have an opportunity, you're going to know exactly what you have to do down there to get yourself ready to get back up here. As Terry, I think, addresses his ball club in his opening meeting, hey, we're going to need all 40 of you guys that are on this 40-man roster this year if we're going to be good. And he was right. And they believe in it, so they're ready, and they keep themselves ready all year long. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
And that's all on the communication level. They'll tell you what you need to work on and why, and then so will the coaches down in AAA or AA, wherever you're going to go. They'll know exactly what you have to do.
I mentioned at the top of our telecast that the last several days it's been warmer in Cleveland than it was here in the desert. But my wife just
What do you want to
texted me.
bet?
She said it was 77 yesterday. Today it's 34, and she said I'm looking at snow outside.
Yeah,
right
I was going to say, what do you want to bet when we get home for opening day? It won't be warmer.
No, I don't think so. That's going to be a base hit for Gabriel Guerrero. And Tony Renda goes to third. So the Reds have banged out 3 hits in the inning, but thanks to the double play ball, they still do not have a run. And Percy Garner still an opportunity to get out of the inning. 6,357 the attendance here on Cactus League opening day in Goodyear. Again, if you missed it earlier, we're going to take the show on the road. Tomorrow we'll go to Mesa. Indians Cubs, little World Series rematch. It's game 8.
Yeah, I guess. Or game 1 of 2017. You said Salazar will be starting for the Indians tomorrow, huh?
Yeah. You know, Danny and Carlos Carrasco both, they've come into camp, got to have that look in their eye. They're determined to be the key.
Well, when they missed
Members
such
of
a
that
big
rotation
part,
they were missing last October.
Yeah, I mean, Carrasco missed, what, 5 weeks after that leg injury against Detroit, and then got hurt again after he got hit and broke his hand and missed the rest of the year. I mean, they missed the best part.
Yeah.
You know, they were a part of it to try and get you there, but you end up missing the best part of being there. So, yeah, they've got to have a little extra drive, I would think, to stay healthy, to want to continue and play a full season.
And I know that both of them feel that, look, with all respect to the Cubs, they won the World Championship. They deserve everything that comes with it. But they both feel deep in their heart that, man, if we'd have been there,
Yeah.
it might have been different.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. That'll be in their mind the rest of their lives. But the thing of it is, you know, you still, here's what I say. Still, the only guy that is a proven 200-inning pitcher on this team is Kluber. Period. I mean, Tomlin went up ahead 178 after coming off injuries. That's his high. Bauer, he's a guy that can go all year. You know, he had the unfortunate injury on his own behalf because of the drone thing, but you know, it cost him some innings. He was able to still pitch in the postseason, but with Salazar and Carrasco, they were not. So they have to go ahead and pitch a whole year and get your 32, 33 starts.
And it sort of also circles back to the same thing we were just talking about, that 40-man roster. You're going to need a Ryan Merritt, a Moramondo. You're going to need some of those guys at some point this year to help. Nice job by Percy Garner. Works around 3 hits, does not allow a run. 7-2 Tribe, middle of the 8th. There's the guy who made the play of the day right there.
Yes, he did.
That was fantastic, young man.
Look at holding it up.
Over his head. Didn't even look.
Throwing the four-seam fastball at you.
Here we go. One more look. Watch the guy at the top of the railing.
Boom.
I mean,
snagged it.
Kidding me? Here's a better look. Over his head. Not even looking.
Yeah,
That's
on the bare
awesome.
hand. Very nice play.
That is great. All right, so we are in the bottom of the 8th now, and Chris Colabello will get his second at bat. He doubled his first time up. We got a new pitcher now for Cincinnati, Ariel Hernandez. Just missed inside there. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Before the game began today, we were eating lunch. We were watching the ball game on MLB Network between the Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox down in Fort Myers, Florida. It made me think that there was changes in the front office in the offseason too. Derek Falvey is now the general manager in charge of the
Minnesota,
Twins.
right.
We certainly wish Derek the best in his new endeavor, but we're going to miss him here. He was a really bright front office executive and always a joy to talk to whenever we'd see him, especially during the playoffs last year when it seemed like we were all together for so long during that run. But yeah, he's got
the reason why he got a job because he is so good and successful. Yeah, congratulations and good luck.
But provides opportunity within here now. Carter Hawkins, assistant general manager now. He's in his 10th season with the Indians. Matt Foreman now assistant GM. I mean, the one thing the Indians organization has done, going back for the better part now, Arch, of 2 decades or more, is they've done a great job of promoting from within really good, bright, intelligent baseball.
They certainly do. There's a lot of former GMs out there, or that were GMs that started in the Indians organization and had the opportunity to move on and get opportunities. They have filled the league with.
A little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Yandy Diaz.
We could think of a half a dozen.
Oh yeah.
Right off the top of your head. Yeah.
1-2 pitch. And one former Indians front office executive who's now in a different sport. He's across town with the Browns, Paul DePodesta.
Yeah.
Went out to
that was
Oakland.
the first one, right? He sure did. L.A. Yep.
I mean, I know that's going back a few years, but still, I mean, as I said, it's been over a 20-year period. In the air, right field, well hit by Yandy Diaz, and that's going to go to the wall on 1 bounce, and he's going to roll into second base with a 1-out double. I mentioned it earlier, Diaz can hit. That's the one thing you've seen throughout his development and ascent through the minor league system. He can put the barrel to the baseball.
Well, and he drives it to right center field where it short hops the wall. He will cruise into second base with a double. Indians with 10 hits on the afternoon.
Eric Stamets struck out his only time up back in the 6th. The Dubliner down near Columbus. So from a rule standpoint this year, really nothing new other than something that we saw last year in a game against Tampa when we were playing the Rays down in St. Pete, the old 4-pitch walk. Chucked one to the backstop, and the Indians got a run on that play.
Oh, did that happen down there? Okay.
No more though. Now you just
it.
signal 4, and the batter automatically goes to first base.
I was saying it's maybe an hour a game. You know, it's
how often does it really? I was trying.
One every 2 games is an average, I think, of an intentional walk.
One every 2 games.
Yeah, is what it comes out to, and the approximate time is probably about 37 seconds.
37 approximately, give or take.
Yes, give or take a few, depending on if the guy, gets it back in a hurry. Approximately 37 seconds on an intentional walk. Which is, I just don't think that has anything to do with speeding up the game.
Bounce to third. Tricky hop. Stamets is out number 2. So the new collective bargaining agreement that was hammered out during the offseason. Here's some of the things. This is actually interesting to me. The DL is going to be changed from 15 days down to just 10.
I like it a lot. It should be. You got a 10-day DL. That's good.
And then starting next year, we're going to start the season actually earlier, and that's going to give 4 extra off days. I think the season's actually going to start on a Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday next year.
Yeah, okay.
Get a little ahead of ourselves. Wild pitch. Down to third goes Diaz with 2 down.
But also compensation pick for a free agent is not going to be a first rounder, which is nice.
Yeah,
and that's where a lot of the players feel like, that's where they're getting hammered. If you're a free agent, you lose a first-round draft pick as well as giving up that kind of cash. It's maybe a little too much, but look at Encarnacion this year. They felt he was going to go out and he was going to be a $100 million man. Ended up in Cleveland, 3 years, $60 million, but they still, lose a draft pick.
Ground ball in the hole and a base hit for Guillermo Quiros. I beg your pardon, Nelly Rodriguez. Rodriguez with the 2-out single. And the Indians are up 8-2.
Yeah, this one again finds its way through the infield between short and third with 2 outs. Gives the Indians.
Sprinklers are on. That's the ball game, folks. Take it on home.
They have no tarps. We may be called because of rain.
How about
the timers? That had to be on a timer, right?
And I see one of the grounds crew guys. He's darting out to center field. I wonder if that's where the the shutoff valve is.
That's beautiful.
On the hop.
There they go.
Well, they went off pretty quick. Somebody found the switch.
Well, it's first day for the ground crew as well. Hey, sorry about that. Someone's going to get it. Oh, that's beautiful. Here you go. There it is. Look at the umpire. He got out of there. That's the showers for the players after the game. They better hurry up and give them some soap.
I always think of Kevin Costner and Bull Durham, where they go to the ball field, turn the sprinklers on.
Yeah.
We need a day off. We need a rain out. Here is Guillermo Quiros. Got so much chicken scratch on my scorecard. Hard to tell who's who. But
well, welcome to spring training baseball.
Nelly Rodriguez, though, coming up with the base hit. He's got 2 hits today. Now on an RBI and a run scored. Quiros watches one bounce to the backstop, and down the second goes Nelly Rodriguez.
Come on, Brady.
Hey, we got to sent out happy birthday wishes to our buddy Jim Rosenhaus.
That's right. That's right next door. Right.
Yeah, Rosie's celebrating his 65th birthday today. He's going to be retiring at the end of the year.
65th. I thought it was 75th.
A little high. And it's 3-1. Way out in front. Full count. You're sitting there spring training game 1. You got a 3-1 count. And you think, if ever I'm getting a fastball, it's day 1 of spring training, right? No,
you would think so.
No, not going to happen.
Well, we saw it in the first inning of this ball game when I think it was
Amir Garrett
when Zimmer was hit.
Yeah,
and he had a 3-2 count, and they ended up throwing him a breaking ball and walk him.
The count is full. The string is out for Guillermo Quiros. And the payoff pitch is low, ball 4. And we're going to get a pinch hitter now for Brad Zimmer. Zimmer drove in 5 runs today, hit a 3-run homer his last time up. And I believe this is Mike Pappy. Let me check here. It is. Zimmer with an RBI stinging single right up the middle. And here's the 3-run blast. Opposite field. Just shot out of here above the bullpen.
Well, they took a hit from him over at first base. Votto did, where he had an RBI in his second at bat. Could have been a double down the line. So he had what an afternoon.
And he drew the walk against a left-hander, which is something that Terry said that's where he's got to work on, facing those lefties.
Yeah, he's had a great afternoon.
Now Mike Pappy looks at ball 1. Pappy last year at A-ball and then up at Double-A. He was 38th overall pick. Just a couple of years back, 2014. Now the 1-1. All the way to the backstop.
It's his third wild pitch of the inning. Keeps looking at the bottom of his shoes.
That's almost a built-in. Every athlete now, if something goes wrong, you look at your shoes, you look at your hand, you look at something. There's got to be some reason that's this is going on.
Could be sprinklers.
It's the dampness. Out of play. And the count 2-2. Ariel Hernandez with 2 on and 1 out. The Indians up 8-2 here in the 8th inning. And that's outside. And it's a full count.
Good job, 81.
It's hard to believe. It's the 9th year for the Indians in Goodyear.
It's gone by quickly, hasn't it?
Low, ball 4, and they're loaded on back-to-back walks.
Well, Indians youth baseball summer camps presented by Cleveland Clinic's Children's offer major league instruction to baseball players in Northeast Ohio. You can sign up today and let professionals teach your child the Indians way to play. Go to Indians.com for more details.
Well, we're going to have a timeout here as Ariel Hernandez just ran out of pitches. So Brian Price goes to the bullpen. We'll be right back with the bases loaded and the Indians up 8-2. The American League champions lead the Cincinnati Reds 8-2 here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. The Tribe has the bases loaded. And Richie Schaefer will be batting for Cleveland. The new pitcher is a left-hander, Ismael Guillon. Last year in A-ball, pitched in 32 games, made 13 starts, good numbers. But getting an opportunity here to pitch in a big league spring training game, even though he hasn't advanced past A-ball yet.
Well, he's the emergency reliever, and it's an emergency right now.
It's an emergency.
Yes, it is.
Indians lead at 8-2. They have 11 hits. Cincinnati has 14 hits today, but 13 of the Reds' 14 hits have been singles.
Yeah, we do after she's done with this.
Richie Schaefer struck out his only time up in the 7th. And he looks at a strike. Rick Fowle almost picked off the runner, Nelly Rodriguez.
Yeah, you better be ready.
Swung on and missed, and that'll end the inning. Indians get a run, leave them loaded, and after 8, they're soaking the Reds 8-2.
It's raining here in Arizona. The Indians at Cubs tomorrow, 3 o'clock live from Mesa, Arizona on Sports Time, Ohio. It's a World Series rematch. One of the 2 Indians-Cubs games we will televise this spring. Danny Salazar will make his spring debut for the Tribe, and it's on your home for Indians baseball, Sports Time, Ohio.
The new pitcher for the Indians is left-hander James Russell. Last year pitched in a handful of games with Philadelphia. And here in the 9th inning, there's a misplaced Cubs fan, huh? Probably couldn't get tickets to the Cubs game.
He thought they were playing here today.
James Russell is 31 years old. He was actually born in Cincinnati, Ohio. His dad, of course, pitched with the Indians. Remember back in he was a big pickup in that 1995 season. Jeff Russell.
Jeff Russell. Yeah.
In the dirt, full count. The Indians Cubs tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here on Sports Time Ohio. And it's high, ball 4. Brandon Dixon steps in against Russell. Mentioned that last year Cincinnati got off to a dreadful start. They were 32-57 going into the All-Star break. As part of that, the Indians swept 4 straight from Cincinnati, and they did it outscoring the Reds 43-16.
Yeah, normally it's like you win in your hometown, or that's the way it's gone.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we go to Cincinnati, they beat us. They come to Cleveland, we beat them.
All time, the Indians lead the series against Cincinnati 54-45. This year they'll play, as Arch told you earlier, 4 straight, starting May 22nd. 2 in Cincinnati, then 2 in Cleveland. Back out of play. Last year they started, remember, they started the spring training, played each other 3 straight times.
Yeah,
it was like a series.
Yeah. Well, a lot of teams did that. When you're sharing the complex, it saves you. You know, you go right there. You can get your guys in and out.
Mike Pappy makes the play in right field for out number 1. Chad Wallach will bat with 1 on and 1 out here in the 9th, and the Indians on top 8-2.
We'll end up having a couple of split squad games throughout the course of this year too, because we're going to end up going to San Antonio.
Yeah, in the middle of the
St.
month.
Patty's Day.
Middle of March.
Play a night game, day game there before we head home, which is different.
Did you play in San Antonio in a minor league?
No, that was a AA team down there back in the day when I was in AA. I did not. I went from A ball to AAA.
I've never been to San Antonio.
Well, we've got our guide that will be there to help us, Gary Bell.
Oh, that's right.
President Bell is going to end up taking us around San Antonio and showing us.
That might not be a good idea.
A shootout at the Alamo. But no, I have never been there as well.
And a little low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think Andre's even going to be with us when we go to San Antonio.
Oh, that's right. Where is he now? What's he, late? Where is Andre? Speaking of Andre.
Andre, where are you?
I knew this broadcast was a little quiet. I'll be getting a text here soon.
Yeah.
No, he's not paying attention. It's
we'll know if he
night.
is.
It's Saturday night. He's out somewhere.
6:15. Back home in Cleveland. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Russell takes care of Wallach, and there are 2 down in the 9th.
That's right. Big Andre.
I think he told
me.
I just was talking to him the other night. I think he said he's going to be out here next week.
Yes, he is. He's coming in with the 4th or 5th. He's not allowed to travel before March.
Runner goes on indifference, and it's a called strike. Now Russell with the 0-1 pitch. And he fouls it away, and the Reds are down to their last strike.
Come on! Bring it home!
Here is the 0-2, and he strikes it out to end the ball game. James Russell finishes it off for Cleveland on a very solid day of pitching all the way around for the Indians. In the 9 innings, only 1 frame did the Reds get on the board. That's when they scored 2 in the second. Otherwise, everybody really is a solid day. Mike Clevinger, Andrew Miller, Sean Armstrong, all the way to James Russell here at the back end. And offensively, the Indians got on the board first in the first. Edwin Encarnacion driving home the Tribe's first run of the day, and the big afternoon belonged to Bradley Zimmer with a 3-run homer, part of a 5 RBI performance. So the Indians win the Cactus League opener by a final score of 8-2, and we'll be back with a final word from Goodyear right after this.